areas. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
A new luxury apartment complex could be coming to Creve Coeur. The City Council is expected to consider the plan at tonight's meeting. And the first amusement park ride at Oasis Lake of the Ozarks is being installed. The Plunge is one of 12 amusement park rides planned for the entertainment district there. And April showers bring not only May flowers, but a chance to explore St. Louis.
In celebration of National Bike Month, Big Muddy Adventures is offering free bike rentals for the month of May. The initiative is designed to encourage more people to experience the fun, accessibility, and adventure of cycling while being able to take in one of the city's most scenic and historic areas. Big Muddy is offering the free rentals on a first-come, first-served basis at 50 Lenorque Sullivan Boulevard during its normal operating hours Thursday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. National Bike Month, celebrated each May and promoted by the League of American Bicyclists, highlights the many benefits of bicycling, from improved health and reduced environmental impact to stronger, more connected communities. David Solomon, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The national chain of Buc-ee's stores and gas stations is expanding. A new store in Ohio reported over $1 million in sales on opening day. A location in Kansas City is expected to open next year. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 95 points at 49,704. NASDAQ up 27 at 26,274. And the S&P 500 up 13 at 7,412. Now let's check in with Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve Mizzou running back Ahmad Hardy was the victim of a shooting at a concert in Mississippi early Sunday morning. He is in stable condition after undergoing surgery. His return to football timetable is unknown at this stage. The Cardinals are off today after splitting a 4-game series with the Padres in San Diego. The Birds will take on the Athletics in Sacramento tomorrow. And the Battlehawks were 31-20 winners at home over the Columbus Aviators. In his first St. Louis start, Luis Perez threw for 204 yards and 1 touchdown. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 70 East before St. Louis Avenue is causing a stop-and-go back up to Salisbury. Estimated clearance time is 3:45. We have some debris on 44 East past Vandeventer in the center lanes, and 170 South is crowded between Forest Park Parkway and 64. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our forecast calls for sunny skies for the rest of the day, clear tonight, an overnight low in the mid-50s, then sunny tomorrow with a high of 84. At 3:09, sunny, 77 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Mike Lippert here for Lisi Lumber, a family-owned company that's been serving the area since 1872. You've heard McGraw mention our knowledgeable staff, excellent customer service, and the best of woods. We're now producing and delivering custom prefabricated trellises, pavilions, and pergolas. Union-made, union-delivered. Homeowners and do-it-yourselfers are going to love these. Got an idea? Send a sketch and some dimensions and we'll take care of the rest. For the best of woods and prefabricated outdoor dreams, call Lisi Lumber 234-0105 or LisiLumber.com.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
She uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
goes so quickly. Happy Monday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Josh Gilbert, Bob Ramsey, and we've got all kinds of things to get to this afternoon. First up, at 3:30, we're going to be joined by our favorite nurse practitioner, Jordan Kimler, with Premier U, and they're going to host a really cool documentary screening about, dare I say, menopause. I saw part one of this documentary last year, 2 years ago, and it was fantastic and so eye-opening. So many things going on in our bodies that we never even attributed to menopause. So we'll talk to Jordan about that, get a preview coming up here at 3:30. We'll also check in with Jim Ryan, ABC News. The Hantavirus patients have transferred to Nebraska. And what exactly does that look like? Is everybody safe? I saw a little video, and what was the movie Outbreak, where everybody's head to toe covered in,
hazmat.
Yeah. So
movie.
Well,
Heidi, we lived it.
I know we
just
did,
a couple of years ago.
I don't want to live it again. So I'm hoping we have this under wraps. So that's all in the 3 o'clock. In the 4 o'clock, Ryan Krull with St. Louis Magazine will join us with some of the stories he's covering about this garage filled with abandoned cars that Ryan's been covering for quite a while. Who do these cars belong to? And how did they get there in the first place? Why?
Why do we keep getting these stories of the cars that are parked on the street, that car that was on the street for a year and a half and it amassed $40,000 in tickets, and then now there's a whole garage full of cars like this? Who's leaving their car?
Right. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Why are we taking up all that space? Have an auction.
Right.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
And do something with the money.
Yes.
Guys, you ever go to an event and maybe you have too much to drink and you're like, oh, I'll take a cab home. I'll take an Uber. I'll get the car tomorrow. And then 6 years later, you still haven't got.
No, but you know
I've never done that. No.
I do have friends that last Thursday went to Twilight Thursdays, which is now at the Missouri History Museum. There's a band there. Thursday. It looks like it's going to be fantastic.
I thought it was Tuesdays. Did they move it to Thursdays?
I think it's Thursdays.
Okay.
Anyway, they end up Ubering home, and they left their car until yesterday. I'm like, did you not need it? I don't understand.
Begging to have it broken into?
Yeah.
You're begging.
I don't know. So I thought that was...
It's got $40,000 of parking tickets on it now.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about. One of the many stories we'll talk about with Ryan. We'll also check in with Don Mahalik, ABC News, and the bipartisan support for moving Secret Service out of the Department of Homeland Security. I guess I didn't realize that's where they were. I kind of thought the Secret Service was just their own entity altogether, or maybe even part of the FBI. I don't know.
Treasury Department, right? Famously part
That's
of
how
the Treasury.
It started.
Yeah.
So Scott Bessent in charge of them and doesn't want to be, or how'd they get over?
That is kind
or
of
how'd
weird.
they get over to DHS?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
DHS was probably post 9/11, right?
And they put them in there because they're an enforcement thing. I
got
know.
a question. Can we make the TSA? What do they call it? The necessary people that even during a government shutdown,
All right.
still get paid. Congress gets paid during a government shutdown. Can we pay the TSA as well
We definitely should.
during the shutdown? Where's that bill?
Speaking of flying, we'll check in with Aisha Ali. She's the ABC transportation reporter. Memorial Day right around the corner. So what do we expect with travelers? And is it going to be as crazy as it usually is?
We just looked it up. Crude oil's down, and I think I may have seen one gas station 10 cents cheaper than yesterday. I could be wrong. That might not be across the board everywhere. But crude oil significantly down. For how long and when do we get to feel the good feel from it?
We'll see.
Speaking of summer, and we'll probably get into this when we talk about our weekends, but I noticed last night at about 7:30, 7:45, it was still very light outside.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I mean, when is the longest day of the year? June 20th or something?
22nd, maybe.
Yeah.
And then it starts to turn the other way.
We're in the thick of it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
beautiful.
We turned the heater on in the pool. Now, I didn't get in, but friends did yesterday, started swimming. You got some sun over the weekend.
I did. I got some sun on Friday. Again, I'll tell you about that when we talk about our weekends.
Okay. Yeah, and today felt like because we got low humidity. It felt like a mountain Colorado day.
It felt so good. We'll also talk a little sports with KTRS's sports director, Brendan Weesey. We've got some entertainment news, and we'll wrap this up with some randoms. But before we get to Brendan to talk about sports, I just saw this and thought, well, this is interesting. Right before I came in, it was in People magazine. Ryan Lochte, the swimmer.
This is my story of the day.
Well, he's taking the assistant coaching job at Missouri State.
How about that?
Isn't that interesting?
I didn't. I guess I didn't realize they had a swimming program.
Yeah,
down at Mo State.
He's accepted an assistant coaching position.
Nice.
The Olympic gold medalist said he might actually be more passionate about coaching than competing.
Coaching is so great.
Yeah, so I'm
surprised
thought that
you
was
didn't coach.
interesting.
Well, with your schedule all these years, you've never really been able to commit.
No, I helped
but you'd be
with.
Great, though. You'd be great.
I helped with my niece when they were playing t-ball and softball in the beginning, and a few things like that. I don't have the patience to coach.
Well, it's good that you recognize that.
Yes, it is.
I like a little self-awareness in my friends and coworkers. 41 years old, Ryan Lochte, 12 overall medals during his 4 summer Olympic Games.
And now he's a dad. He's got 2 kids, which is kind of crazy, but that's a big get for Missouri State.
Well, if he's a good coach, it's a big get.
Well,
it's a big
you don't
name.
think he'll bring people in? Let's talk about what that's all about.
He was kind of a goofball. Remember, he got arrested in Brazil?
Not kinda.
I was being generous.
Oh, that's real generous. Yeah. Looks like he's now, though, grown up a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, speaking of weekends, I don't remember if it was Men's Group Against Cancer or if it was Backstoppers, but we always throw up some kind of auction item.
Yeah.
And Josh, you always do Dogtown Pizza, and Bob, you usually do something with Billiken basketball. Well, I typically give away a brunch with Kelly Jackson and Jennifer Blom and myself, and we finally did it this weekend with our listener Shauna, and I hope you're listening. We had so much fun. We went to 1111 Mississippi because they now do brunch on Saturday. And Shauna came in like a force. She brought all of us notebooks so we could make notes about our conversations or if we were talking about new books that we wanted to read. And it was just...
How cute.
I mean, Jennifer and Kelly both texted me afterwards and that was so fun. And, you meet somebody new and you don't know how it's going to go. And it was just so lovely. And I think we'll all get back together.
So did you have, for our listeners, a preview of what Saturday was like on the show you taped with the girls?
Not really. We just kind of said, see you at brunch. And then Shauna did text and say, oh my gosh, this has got me even more excited. I'm like, this is definitely a preview of what you're going to get.
Very cool.
It's constantly, like we say, ADHD conversations because you start down one path and then you never finish that story and you move to something else. But Shauna was just a delight. She hopefully had a great Mother's Day because she's got a few kids and just seemed like she's a great fit. It was fun.
What'd you do for Mother's Day, Bob?
Cooked mainly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cooked and
You
cleaned.
did the cooking?
I did our big breakfast with the mother-in-law. She came over after church, toed the holes, nice big breakfast. And it was really good. And then my oldest boy, Brad, made steaks for dinner.
Oh.
Nice.
We had steaks
and
last
homemade French fries, and it wasn't wasn't fancy, but it was really good.
Did you blanch the fries?
I didn't touch them. I don't know what that means even.
Well,
He was just served.
The Ronald McDonald House, the chef there right now.
Oh yeah,
is the famous French fry chef in St. Louis, and he told us about blanching. I don't know what it means either, but I just know the phrase.
Yeah, then we did. We double blanched.
We triple blanched.
I think when you blanch, and you guys help me on the KTRS text line 84126 because I am not a chef either, but I think it's like in water.
You soak it in water.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Brad did that. I saw him do that.
Oh, really?
So we went and bought the potatoes, and he did all the slice. It was all homemade stuff. It was really good.
Yeah,
and I think Jen had a good time.
Delicious. We went out and celebrated my mom at my sister's house, which was fun, but we kind of made my mom do the work. She had a lasagna that was in the freezer, which is always even better after it's kind of sat. And so my sister tossed that in, had a salad, and it was fantastic. And then ended up having a Sunday fun day when we got back. It's one of those things when you have the pool, all of a sudden people just show up.
Yeah, they really do.
Your friends. Coincidence.
Yeah.
My sister has a pool. We just showed up to her house on Saturday. Funny how that works. We went to the Big 550 KTRS anniversary party on Thursday.
We talked about it on Friday.
Sure, you guys talked about it on Friday. I did not come into work on Friday. Planned absence. And we stayed downtown at a nice hotel. And to our surprise, the pool was open already.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, hotels will do that a lot.
I don't know
because they don't have to go by the
right.
community rules.
They told me at the front desk that they never close the pool
I was
because
going
it's
to say,
heated.
I don't think they do.
But St. Louis winters, we all know what that's like.
But
There's
if you
no
had
need
the
to
heat-
keep it open in January.
Oh, but if it's hot, you
Depends
can
on how
still get
warm
in
they
there.
make
Yeah.
it, like a hot tub.
Okay.
Our pool is 90 degrees right now.
Woo. I got a lot of sun.
You did.
And then I went to the Battlehawks game and we won.
Ah.
That was really nice. And then Saturday and Sunday was for the missus.
Yeah.
For the mom, I should say.
Yeah. So Saturday night, before you get to your Sunday, we went, and I wanted to get Heidi in on this. We went and saw one of my all-time favorites, Samantha Fish. She was at Atomic.
Which is a great spot.
And they did a great job. If you don't know her, she is a...
Is she bluesy?
Yeah, technically you'd probably fit into the blues side, but kind of blues rock.
Yeah, okay.
Because she is a lead guitarist and really gets after it, and has this fantastic singing voice, kind of a soul sister sound to the voice, writes songs, great performer, great stage presence, really, really good. Now, here's the weird thing about it. Everybody in the audience was old.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Why is that? Somebody, and she's not. She's young. So what is it? Is it because it's not getting radio play, and so young so young people don't find it? I think one appearance on a national show, she would. Well, she's already doing great.
Right.
Travels all over the world, touring band, but I'd say 90% of the audience was your age or older.
Yeah. I would say it's also kind of the music she is creating, because it doesn't really fit in a specific genre on the radio. And so I think it does take
That's a great point.
kind of a special, you've got to kind of know your music to search her out.
But anybody, young people, now, unless if you're only into dance music, this isn't it. But if you love great rock and roll with the blues.
I forgot she was there because we would have stopped by.
So I already told Heidi the next time she's here, we're all going. So I don't know if it's your kind of music or not, Josh. She's so good. Like I said, stage presence, just heavy lead guitar, which she does. It's all rolled into one, and she's fantastic. So if anybody gets to see her, especially if you know anybody young, I know I'm already speaking to the choir here for our listeners.
Yeah, so cool.
Anybody who loves music, loves rock music, loves blues music would like her.
She, like you said, she's young. She's got leather pants on and a big guitar.
Yeah.
And that's all I need. So, sign me up. My wife for Mother's Day asked, not for a gift. We did get her some dishes. She wanted outdoor dishes.
Oh, outdoor dishes, good.
Yeah, we bought her dishes with lemons on it.
Okay.
But she said, just let me watch CBS Sunday morning in bed with coffee and don't come in until 9:31.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's interesting because I was looking, and Kristen Bell, who's married to Dax Shepard, she shared that a couple of years ago, Dax, her husband, said, "What do you want for Mother's Day?" And it kind of came to light that most Father's Day, maybe you go out and you golf, or maybe you go out and do something. But Mother's Day, moms tend to still be doing most of the work. And so she said, I'd kind of like to not do anything, stay at the house without you or the kids, and maybe have my mom friends over, and we have a kind of pampered day. So he got massage therapist and catered it, and they were just out by the pool and being pampered.
That's great.
So I thought that was a good one. Is that similar, Josh?
So, I mean, we let her sleep in, and then we kind of gave her an hour and a half when I took Finn over to my mom's house to bring her plants for Mother's Day. So she got a little time off, but she told me she had friends invite her out for a boozy brunch for Mom's Day a couple years ago, and she came
I don't think
home.
you have to say boozy. Brunch just automatically means
It's redundant.
Yeah.
Maybe for you. But
No,
she
that's what
said-
brunch is.
She said, I wanted to spend time with my family.
Yeah.
I look around the table and I see friends and there's drinks are flowing and to her that's not really Mother's Day.
I get that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But to each their own. If a boozy brunch is what Mom wants, then boozy brunch is what Mom gets.
And then we wrapped it up in the evening because we ate outside. It was beautiful.
It was a gorgeous
Steak
day.
dinner outside.
It started to get a little cold though.
But perfect segue. Broke out the fire pit.
Oh,
for the
that's
first
the
time. We've got
best.
it built in on the
Yeah.
deck, sat around there, had a glass of wine from the Mike Ward on Friday, brought in the Missouri.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, yeah. It was very good. And so thank you, Mike Ward and Mount Pleasant. And it was a good way to wrap up the evening.
Is it gas? Is your built-in gas?
Yeah, it's natural gas.
Okay, so you could just, boom, turn the switch, and it's there.
Flame on, Johnny.
All right,
Yeah.
so I noticed something last night cooking steaks, and these were really thick, by the way. But I got one of them right. That was hers. Mine was a little overcooked. But
The thick ones, that's the danger. You're
Yeah.
afraid
I
it's not
know.
getting done,
that is
and
the
then
danger.
you overdo it.
and then you overdo it. So I fire the grill up, and I realize it's a 4-burner. Something must have happened, and I did leave the gas open, not on, but open.
Yeah.
I don't know if gas seeps out when you leave it like that.
It does.
So I opened the thing up. I cooked hot dogs last weekend. The 2 burners on the ends, some parts, I guess, corroded and had fallen off. And so now I'm only working with the 2 middle burners. And I just had 2 steaks, so I was okay. But I started doing some research. I could pay $70 and rebuild the entire firebox on the inside, or just get a new grill.
Yeah.
Get the new grill.
Get the new grill.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
Okay.
We both said it. No.
just go
there's-
get a new grill.
You don't think I can do this?
No.
No, you could do it, but I'm betting you won't. Kramer.
And I'm going to say, if you're dealing with gas, let a professional do
Well, you
that.
you put the tank.
Okay, but you
Stop.
just said you left it open.
I did. Very
So-
rarely do I do that.
Oh, but rarely is deadly.
Okay. Well, when's Father's Day?
June.
I don't think I could wait that long.
Just go to Lowe's this weekend.
Yeah.
Or go tonight.
And Bob, somebody sent you a couple of Samantha Fish videos from Saturday night, but we can't get them on this text line. So maybe,
You were probably because I'm old and broken. We got reserve seats, folding chairs.
Yeah.
But we sat, and then we stood a lot because a lot of people were standing. It was really fun, and the venue there has both seats and standing room area. And as you know, at Atomic, the beverages are great. I had hope I get it pronounced right, blood red margarita.
Oh,
It was very good.
I bet it was. Man.
And then, speaking of margaritas, and then on Thursday night at the radio station event,
Yes.
the caterers there help me out. Is it called a Paloma with
Yes.
pineapple?
Oh, yeah, tequila.
Basically a pineapple margarita.
Yeah,
Off
so
the
good.
charts.
Yeah.
Off the charts.
They know what they're doing over there. I think that's St. Louis Catering that does.
Really?
The botanical garden. All right, here's Samantha Fish. I mean, this video, she's wearing leather pants. Was she in leather on Saturday?
She did have leather pants.
I just might be the type to wanna be a little boy.
That's a little more dancey, isn't it? You can move.
That's how I make your heart beat faster.
Wait till you get to the lead guitar break, the solo.
And
Some-
she
She
plays
melts
most of
faces.
that.
Yeah. Somebody from the 618, Samantha Fish, rocks. So, yeah. We knew that you guys would get it. All right. You know what we have coming up? First up, we're going to talk to Jordan Kimler, nurse practitioner with Premier U. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy. And the husband said, no, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you. It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric or baldyelectric.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hardcastle, host of Money Talk. Join me and all of our Money Talkers for our June 2027 French Riviera Money Talk vacation. 9 days, unpack one time, balmy beaches, coastal resorts, chic boutiques, captivating museums, and much more. And if you book early, under $5,000 for brochure and information, call our Delta office, 636-532-0484. The French Riviera, I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Get your tickets today for Stages in St. Louis for the 2026 season. This season is shaping up to be one of the best. They kick things off with the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then, of course, they have the timeless classic Guys and Dolls. And one of my personal all-time favorites, Come From Away. Make sure you get individual tickets or group tickets today. Season tickets are still available. For more information, visit stagesstlouis.org. That's stagesstlouis.org.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis with my home when it matters most. They are the local experts who know our area best. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:34 and time to check in with Captain Paul, see how traffic's moving along.
Heidi, there's a crash on 270 South at 70. An accident on 70 East before St. Louis Avenue has just been cleared. We have bridge maintenance operations on 70 East over the Musial Bridge between Packers and 5564. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland and from 364 to 70. 70 West is heavy from Zumbel to Cave Springs. We have a stalled vehicle on 70 West past 141, and 170 South is crowded between Ladue and 64. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Today we're talking talking about something that affects every woman, but almost no one talks about. Of course, I'm talking about menopause. Premier U is hosting a screening of M Factor 2 before the pause later this month. But today, our favorite NP, Jordan Kimmler, and Shannon Shores are here to answer some of those questions. It's great to have both of you with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so many of us experience mood changes, brain fog, weight gain, but we're told that it's normal. What has led to us finally talking about this and maybe realizing it's not normal?
Yeah, I think documentaries like this coming out, right? A lot of social media posts and just women that are in this space, like myself, we're just advocating for other women. The research is there. It's definitely becoming more and more every single day. There's still a lack thereof a little bit, but we're coming around, and the research is finally catching up that, we don't have to live like this anymore. Mm-hmm. This isn't just a normal part of aging. Sitting down with a provider like myself to really go through specifics on what you need is very, very important on this journey.
What I found interesting as I kind of go through this is my mom had a hysterectomy, so she really never went through menopause, right? And it's hard to get the answers that you need because you kind of think that you're going to be similar to your mom.
Right. And our environment's just not the same either, right? I had this conversation this morning is that, yes, maybe that your mom's journey isn't necessarily going to look like yours because their environment was completely different.
That's so true. So tell us about the M Factor 2. This is a documentary you're going to be showing on May 28th. What are the women discussing?
Yeah, so you were at our first one, Heidi. Remember last year?
It was fantastic.
At Webster University, we had the M Factor.
Yes.
So Tamsin Fidel, you could follow her on Instagram. She's on Facebook. She's in all the places because she was in broadcasting, right? And her story is that she went through menopause right in front of everyone, right? That she's having a hot flash. She's sweating through her things. And she couldn't communicate with the news station that she worked for that I'm changing. Something's going on with me. And so she left and now is kind of the face and voice of menopause. And she wrote the book, How to Menopause. But the first documentary, Heidi, you were the MC at the Webster Groves one. And that was breaking down, right, how much money corporations lose with women because of menopause symptoms. Like $2 billion a year.
Well, and so many symptoms that I don't think we even realize are tied to. And correct me if I'm wrong, something even about our teeth. Right?
Yeah,
you're going
bone
through
health.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That was like one of the first screens, right? That when she was talking about, I was losing teeth, and the dentist that was on there saying,
yes.
How many times is your dentist talking about hormone shifts?
Never.
Right. They're not.
No. Or your orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
So what do you hope women take away from this documentary? I know I took so much away from the first one.
Yeah. So I think when they talk about the M Factor, a lot of women didn't show up because they said, well, that's menopause. I'm not in menopause because I'm not having the hot flashes, right? Well, this is not your grandma's menopause. And really what the second M Factor 2 is talking before the pause, right, is perimenopause. And Jordan's on here all the time talking about that, where what we hope when they walk away, they go, I'm not crazy, right? Because it's not just hot flashes. It's weird symptoms, Heidi, right? Like itching of the ears.
That's a menopause?
Yes.
Perimenopause, yes.
Skin issues, autoimmune conditions start to present as well. We start to see more mood disorders diagnosed in women 35 to 55. And I think it's due to these hormonal changes in perimenopause.
So you see me, so and we're balancing out all these hormones. If you do that, does that then kind of lessen the menopausal symptoms or the perimenopausal symptoms?
Yes, because really any symptom, you shouldn't have any symptoms, right? And I think looking at perimenopause, I love seeing women in their 30s and early 40s because if I can get on top of some of these hormonal related issues, we can prevent prediabetes. We can prevent diabetes, heart disease.
So full disclosure, my wife is a patient / client of you guys. And so, but my question is, the difference between the supplements and hormonal things for someone way before menopause, where life is just going along, but you're adding supplements, and then how much does that group of supplements change? And do any of them still translate, or do you have to do a complete flip of what you're taking and how you're taking it?
Depends on the patient. So I saw a patient today. So average age of menopause is around 51, 52. She's 49. So I laid the foundation with her that, hey, it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride. I'm going to start you on some things, But in 2 weeks, you could be calling me saying, I feel so much better. And then 2 more weeks, like, something's wrong. What's going on? I'm having 2 cycles a month. I'm not having a cycle at all. So really that just having someone that is educated in your corner during this transition is imperative.
Yeah. I know you mentioned that we did it in Webster Groves last year. This year, it's going to be in Belleville. Is that just to reach more people?
Yeah. So actually, we are collaborating with the Greater Belleville Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, fantastic.
And Mary Beth, who is our new president, we were having lunch. And you know me, I'm very passionate about this topic because I'm 48, almost 48, and Jordan is my provider, and she helps me regulate what this perimenopause roller coaster has been about. So I always love talking about this and how this is such a health topic for the community. And basically she leaned in and said, say less. How can I help you spread this? And I said, let's do it at the Lincoln Theater.
It's a great venue.
It's a great venue. And I said, let's also celebrate all these great businesses down there. So on the 28th from 4 to 6, there's going to be a sip and shop. So those Belleville restaurants and boutiques and shops are going to have little specials.
Oh, and that whole little main street is
so
fantastic.
Nice. It's so nice. So let's give them, show up for them. And then at 6 o'clock coming down the theater, I'm going to have little other community or other companies having tables there. This could be a woman-owned company. It could be just companies that help women. They're going to be able to have just a table there to show their business, which is going to be great. And at 6:30, we're going to start to show the documentary. Remember from last time, it was about 55 minutes, still on there. And then after that, we're going to have a star-studded panel that's going to have Jordan Kimmler, but also sex therapists, a mental health therapist, pelvic floor therapist, a cosmetologist, because all of a sudden, at almost 48, my straight hair has decided it wants to curl. So it's
mine did too.
Right? Yeah. All of a sudden.
Yes.
Like, where did this come from?
It's
it used
crazy.
to be stick thin, and now it's nuts. And then after that, we're going to walk next door to Benny's Pizza, and we're going to have the after party because we know there's going to be so many great questions that come out of that, or just questions that people don't want to say out loud,
right?
But they can say to Jordan at the side or to their girlfriend. So we want to keep that going. So we're actually coining this as the hottest party in Belleville.
Yeah,
starting at 4. Ending at 10, but that 6:30 to 8:30 is where you need to be.
Well, it really is just the conversation, and we do have questions, and maybe you don't even know what questions you have, but until you get there and you're like, wait a minute, something kind of clicks for you. Is it a ticketed event? Can people just show up?
Is.
How do we?
It is ticketed event. So I will send this also information to your social media person so they can tag it into this today. But follow Premier U on Facebook. You'll see the events, or the Greater Belleville Chamber of Commerce. But it's $25. So it's $25 to attend this event. Last time it was a free event because it is good community information. But you know this, when you pay for something, that reminds you why you need to be there. So all of a sudden your kids' sports and all those other things as women that come ahead of us, when we spend $25, we're not going to get it back. It's going to get us there. But the second thing is all proceeds of this event are going to go to Sisters in Service. So there's a lady who started Sisters in Service. She's from Scott Air Force Base. She's a veteran, and she started this organization to give back to women who are transitioning out of the military back into what normal life looks like, whatever that is, and to give them, to say thank you for your service and to help those women. All that money is going to Sisters in Service. So I cannot wait. I hope to give her the biggest, fattest check at the end of the night.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And I'm sure people can probably learn more on the website too, right?
It's not on our website because, again, this is a collaborative event. And to be full transparency, I think last time when we did this, they said, oh, Premier U's doing this event. It's a sales thing. Well, Heidi, you know me when I get talking about this. This is no sales thing. It's passion, because would I love every woman to come see Jordan or Shannon Capriglione in South County? Absolutely. I think you'd be in fantastic hands. But here's the deal. We can't help everyone. We want to empower women to ask the right questions when they're in front of their doctor. We want to empower women to say, enough's enough. We need better health care than this. And this is what this event is about tonight. So deliberately, it's not on the website because this is not a Premier U thing. This is a community event, but you can find it on our Facebook. I'll drop it. Your social media person will drop it in a link. But if you're a woman or you care about a woman and you understand, you need to be there.
There's just so much information that I think for years we never kind of put in the menopause category.
Right.
You know that hot flashes. Right. But other than that, what did we know about menopause? other than your cycle stops. And there's so much more to it.
Yeah, nobody talks about increased risk of heart disease, fracture risk, urinary tract infections, which lead to hospital stays, which lead to going to long-term care facilities. I mean, there's a whole slew of things
that you can kind of get in front of if
Absolutely.
allowed.
Absolutely.
Well, brain fog.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So many women just discard memory as this is one of those senior moments. You've heard and I would hear my mom and her friends talk about that, and I think, that's crazy. My mom would just walk in the room like, why am I here? And here I am. Why am I here?
Exactly.
And it's real. It's almost like that file in your brain just freezes. Like you know it. I was trying to read off a teleprompter, and I would get to a word that I said a million times. And all of a sudden, the millionth and first time, I was like, oh God, what is that word? Good thing I have the gift of gab. But how many women would freeze and like, I can't do this work anymore?
Yeah,
because I can't read.
So true. Somebody on the text line says they wonder if you're familiar with the book Floored, authored by a women's health physical therapist. Curious.
No, never. I mean, definitely we work with pelvic floor therapists that we referred to. So that's something I would take a look at. Yeah.
All right. There you go. Well, Premier U is, along with the community, hosting the screening of the M Factor 2 Before the Pause on May 28th at 6:30 at the Lincoln Theater in Belleville. And then, as Shannon just mentioned, things before and after. There will be a live panel discussion with experts to answer your questions after the documentary. I wish I was in town because I would go to this one as well, because it really was so informative last year, and I'm so happy that you guys are doing this for the community.
And hopefully we can have it on the St. Louis side again. Because actually we had the M Factor in Belleville first, and then went to Webster Groves. And hopefully we can do the same thing, because there's so many women. If you're listening, if you can't, keep following, because this message needs to be out there so we can help each other.
Absolutely. It takes a village, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry, or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
Reese Nichols, the most trusted Missouri real estate company, is now proudly serving St. Louis. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Alliance is now Reese Nichols, a Missouri-born company established 125 years ago. The same trusted agents who served St. Louis for 45 years now have the backing of Missouri's largest brokerage, Reese Nichols. Offices across the metro, in-house services include title and insurance, making your move seamless. They also proudly support the Ronald McDonald House. Visit ReeseNichols.com. That's ReeseNichols.com.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Have some fun with your friends while eating great food. Of course, I'm talking about the Village Bar, the only place to watch the big game while eating the world's best cheeseburger. There's a reason people have made this their favorite hangout for decades. The game's on, and so is the grill. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
10 minutes before 4 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic?
We have a few issues on the roads right now. There's an accident on the ramp from 64 west to 270 north. We have a crash on 270 south at 70. 64 west is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland and between 364 and 70. 70 west is heavy between Zumbell and Cave Springs. We have a stalled vehicle on 70 west past 141. 64 55 east is slow between the Poplar Street Bridge and Illinois Route 3. 170 south crowded between the Ladue Road and 64. In Illinois, 64 east is running slow from 111 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, today, 16 American passengers who had disembarked that cruise ship arrived at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Jim Ryan, ABC News correspondent in Dallas, joins us with the latest. Jim, how many of those 16 have tested positive, do we know?
Well, only a handful, and one who did test positive now has been transferred to Atlanta to a medical facility there, along with, we don't know the genders here, his or her partner. He or she had tested positive, and it was decided to keep those two together. They were on the ship with 140 some odd other people, passengers and crew members on the Hondias, the MV Hondias, when this hantavirus started spreading around. So far, we know of these two fatalities, a couple from the Netherlands and a German man also who died aboard the Hondias. Now the job is trying to keep hantavirus from spreading around in some 23 countries around the world.
Yeah, it is kind of a scary situation. And Jim, I'm wondering, how long will they be staying at the University of Nebraska's Medical Center?
Well, the ones who are showing signs will probably be there for about 8 weeks because that's how long it takes, for the symptoms to show up. Now, some of these folks may be sent home, but they're being asked to monitor themselves for the next 8 weeks. And if they have any symptoms, the fever, the muscle aches, the fatigue, headaches, if that starts popping up, then they're asked to call their own physicians and try to get hooked up with the folks, the specialists who are dealing with this now.
Jim, going what we went through with coronavirus, we're all experts now when it comes to, diseases like this and the spread. Why would they bring these people to the middle of the United States in Nebraska and not, an island off the coast of somewhere?
Well, that's a good question. They were taken to the National Quarantine Unit at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. It's the only federally funded quarantine center in the whole country, which is, to me, shocking, Josh, that there weren't more of these kinds of centers set up after the pandemic. Well, they weren't. So this is the one and only. The folks who are down in Atlanta are not at a federally funded center like this one. They're being kept in isolation, though. This is the one. So that's why they flew from Tenerife in the Canary Islands all the way to Omaha, Nebraska last night.
Jim, do you know what kind of treatment a patient goes through when they do have the virus?
Well, it's mainly a lot of treating the symptoms of this. There's no real cure. So it's a matter of, handling the aches and the fatigue, the headaches, making sure that they're treated for those things. And so, it's just a matter of kind of waiting it out.
Yeah.
And this is something I learned with rabies. You can survive rabies if you can get through the symptoms. Normally the symptoms will kill you. But if you can get through one person got through the symptoms and they actually lived to tell the other side of it. Is that the same with hantavirus? If you can survive the illness, in 2 weeks, it just kind of goes away?
You should be better, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the course of it here. And hantavirus, as unusual as it sounds, happens occasionally. Remember last year when Gene Hackman's wife died, she died of hantavirus. And it's something that's much more common in the southwestern United States than it is in Missouri, certainly, but that's where it's primarily found. And there are cases every year. This is an unusual case, an unusual strain of hantavirus in that it can be passed from person to person. The one that we see in this country normally doesn't pass from person to person.
And Jim, I'm wondering, did hantavirus used to be more prevalent? Like, I'm remembering when my grandmother told me never to sip a Coke right out of the can, that you need to wash the top of the cans because of maybe mouse droppings. Have we gotten away from hantavirus, or it's always kind of been this sort of popular disease?
Well, it's sort of been in the background the whole time. COVID-19 popped up in 2019, you know, that variant of COVID. And so, yeah, this is something that's been around for a long time. I think this case was surprising in that suddenly we were seeing these cases that were being transmitted from one person to another person. Normally, you're right, you have to come into contact with these rat droppings of a rodent that's been infected.
Yeah, it's very interesting, scary, and hopefully it is all contained. Jim Ryan, ABC News correspondent in Dallas, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Heidi.
You know, we're going to hit the road and we're going to head to Seattle, but another place that you can go really right here in our own backyard for a fantastic day trip or weekend is Springfield, Illinois. And especially this year in 2026, there's more than ever to do because of the 100th anniversary of Route 66. I mean, there's of course, Cozy Dog, which is there all the time, but what better time to go see it and try out where the corn dog originated, which is fantastic. But then you've got certain art exhibits and photo exhibits that are going on. You got the Bob Waldmeyer art exhibit, and Bob Waldmeyer is an American artist who was basically known for his artwork of U.S. Route 66. Some of the famous places that we all wanted to go see, he captured, and so you can see some of his works of art this summer in Springfield, Illinois. You've also got the David Schwartz photo exhibit, and this is the Road That Takes You exhibit. And what's really special about this, in my opinion, is 8 of his photos were chosen for the Route 66 Centennial Stamp Series. So you can see the stamp, and then you can go and see the original work of art. But there's so many other things to do. And Springfield has, great places to stay, fantastic food. I really recommend going for a weekend. You've got the Lincoln Memorial Garden, which is absolutely beautiful. You've got the lake. You've got the actual memorial to Lincoln, and you've got the library and history museum. So you can plan your trip to Springfield, Illinois. They actually do a lot of the work for you. They've got different itineraries, and you just click on visitspringfieldillinois.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Hey, Josh here, and I want to tell you about something near and dear to my heart.
Pizza. Dogtown Pizza, of course.
And if you've ever tried one, chances are it's near and dear to you, too. 12 different varieties to choose from: 4-meat, the SOB, or the veggie. And chances are I've got a hot wing pizza in the oven as we speak. So if you want to have a serious conversation about a serious pizza, the only answer is Dogtown. Near and dear to me in every local grocery store in town and at dogtownpizza.com.
This is the only station of the STL that has been live, local, and locally owned
for 3 decades. The Big 550, KTRS St. Louis. Depend on it.
From ABC News, I'm
I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The fragile ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran faces new challenges. President Trump says the ceasefire is on life support after he rejected Iran's response to a U.S. memo to end the war and set up a 30-day negotiation period. The president says his goals remain the same.
But I have a plan. It's a very simple plan. I don't know why you don't say it like it is. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
ABC's Tom Sufi Burge has more on the sticking points.
The future status of Iran's nuclear program, not just the stocks of enriched uranium which remain in Iran and are thought to be buried deep underground, but also Iran's ability to enrich uranium going forward. And we've had a statement from a senior Iranian official today via state media saying enrichment is not negotiable. And what they mean by that is that Iran won't give up its right to enrich uranium for what it says are civilian purposes.
Gas prices remain at four-year highs. The president says he may implement a temporary federal gas tax holiday to ease the pain at the pump. Efforts to monitor the Hantavirus outbreak on board a Dutch cruise ship continue in several countries, including the U.S., after passengers were evacuated. 17 Americans and one British national were flown to medical centers in both Nebraska and Georgia. ABC's Steve Osinsami is outside Emory University Hospital in Atlanta.
2 of those patients were flown here to Atlanta because they are trying to relieve any potential pressure on the facility in Nebraska. The concerns is that if another one of those patients had tested positive in Nebraska, they would have limited facilities to handle this over there, so they're sending some of those patients here for relief.
Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito has extended a stay in a mifepristone case, allowing access to the key abortion drug for now. The drug has been deemed safe by FDA scientists and available to women for decades by mail and telehealth visits. You're listening to ABC News.
Warmer weather is finally here, and that means cookouts,
ball games,
and maybe enjoying some time on the water.
But it also means lots of heavy food, sweets, and maybe an extra adult beverage or two. Thank goodness we both take Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All the things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted natural ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Active Liver helps us enjoy the good things in life with peace of mind that our liver isn't working overtime. Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, and you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
77 degrees at 4:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. An investigation is underway after a shooting at an Ellisville apartment complex. Police say 2 people shot each other at the apartment on Carmel Woods Drive around 1 o'clock this morning. The victims are said to be in stable condition. 5 people were taken to the hospital after an overnight apartment fire in the Metro East. Firefighters responded to the Plaza Apartments in Belleville, and by sunrise, crews had cleared the scene. Our partners at First Alert 4 were there, and firefighters told them that those transported to area hospitals had various injuries, most involving smoke inhalation.
We did have victims on the top balcony. They were already outside. They were just waiting for a way out and a ladder, so we got the ladder to them real quick. Everybody else was either on the balcony or trying to make their way through the hallway, and we were able to help them get out.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation. And in Granite City this morning, a fire broke out at a storage facility off St. Thomas Road near Route 3. About 20 storage units were impacted there. St. Charles County is considering new restrictions for short-term rentals. The St. Charles County Council is expected to approve a draft proposal during tonight's meeting, which would create a licensing and inspection program. Illinois has been named a high-performance state for emergency preparedness.
The state received the highest possible ranking in a recently released report by Trust for America's Health. Illinois was ranked in the middle of the pack in 2025, but moved up thanks to improvements driven by ongoing investments in emergency preparedness infrastructure, workforce preparation, and response systems. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said in a statement, quote, "Despite the Trump administration gutting vital resources for states, Illinois continues to strengthen its public health partnerships and preventative measures while leading with science. Illinois has taken matters into our own hands to the greatest extent possible, and while we are proud to be recognized as one of the most prepared states, we remain gravely concerned about the lack of cooperation, resources, and commitment to science on the federal level should there be another public health catastrophe or other disaster, end quote. David Solomon, KTRS News.
And the historic Hanley House will hold an outdoor ceremony tomorrow marking its reopening. The house was built in 1855 and is Clayton's oldest surviving home and is on the National Register of Historic Places. Public tours are expected to begin next year. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Magic Mini Golf in the Del Mar Loop closed on Saturday after only 3 years in business. Owner Joe Edwards says there are plans for new business in the space at the 6100 block of Del Mar. Details expected later this month. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk and Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow up 95 points at 49,704. NASDAQ up 27 at 26,274. And the S&P 500 up 13 at 7,412. And now for KTRS Sports and Traffic, let's go to Paul.
Mizzou running back Ahmad Hardy was the victim of a shooting at a concert in Mississippi early Sunday morning. He is in stable condition after undergoing surgery. His return to football timetable is unknown at this stage. The Cardinals are off today after splitting a 4-game series with the Padres in San Diego. The Birds will take on the Athletics in Sacramento tomorrow. And St. Louis City SC got a goal from Sang Big Jeong in a 1-0 win at the Colorado Rapids. It's the first road victory of the season for City SC. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. There's an accident on the ramp from 64 West to 270 North. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to Big Bend, where emergency vehicles are blocking the right lane. 64 West is also congested between 364 and 70. 70 West is heavy between 94 and Cave Springs, and from Route A to Route Z in Wentzville. 270 South is slow between Olive and Manchester. 170 South crowded between Ladue Road and 64. 44 West is slow between Washington and 5564 downtown. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested from 111 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Sunny skies for the rest of the day, clear overnight with a low in the mid-50s. Sunny tomorrow with an afternoon high of 84. At 8 minutes past 4 o'clock, we do have sunny skies, 77 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Monday afternoon, May 11th. Enchanted Park CEO shares his vision of new Six Flags. James Harai, CEO of Enchanted Parks, has big plans for Six Flags St. Louis Amusement Park in Eureka. The park, which will be renamed Mid-America by Enchanted Parks next year, is undergoing some subtle changes this season, which began April 25th. Next year, he says, park goers may notice changes to ride names and operating hours. Though his transition period, Hari said that his focus is on keeping prices low, hiring and retaining staff, and providing a fabulous experience for guests. He said, the way I look at this business is to get anybody to come back and become valued, loyal customers, they've got to have a good experience. You have to really explain to the employees that this isn't a job selling a hot dog. This is a job selling memories to families and making those experiences for people. He said that the Eureka Park is the largest that Enchanted Parks operates, and it has the highest attendance and best mix of rides. So he said it's also also a huge contributor to the sales tax in Eureka. And he said that the park is a big local employer. And he said that's important that the park, and specifically the park president, remains an active member of the Eureka community. So it sounds like he's looking at things the right way.
It sure does sound that way. And I remember when we first started talking about this turnover, but I can't remember, are all Six Flags going out of business, or just they've kind of cherry-picked this one?
I think some of them have completely closed.
Gotcha.
But I am not absolutely positive on that.
Well, we're staying on the amusement park
I like
theme.
it.
And I saved this one from late last week.
Because you wanted Josh to be
I
here.
wanted Josh.
All right.
This is Josh support session. You ready, Joshy?
I'm ready.
Disney adults trend continues to grow as Kylie Kelsey and Brenda Song chime in on the topic. On a recent episode of Not Gonna Lie with Kylie Kelsey, everybody knows she's the wife of Jason Kelsey. She's starting to believe that Disney World, Josh, and Disneyland are more for adults than children.
Oh boy.
So don't you feel validated?
I think I agree with her. The kids can't even go without the parents.
Ms. Song is married to Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
And she says they enjoy Disneyland more than their children do. She said, we went so often, it's kind of the coolest backyard in the world, so it feels like home. The folks at Disney said Disney parks are for the young and the young at heart. Okay, they're selling it. And they believe that happiness doesn't have an age limit. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But finally, they're associated with classic, timeless, innocent stories. That's very appealing to childless adults or any adult looking to recapture or keep alive the feeling of delight and comfort. I think that's why adults like you and I like to go back. It helps you have those childlike memories and experiences that we all want to embrace again.
100%. It's not like I'm really getting anything out of riding the teacups, per se.
Aren't you, though, looking at his face?
Not really a thrill ride, per se, but it is the magic that comes with bringing a child. And when we got off the Alice in Wonderland ride, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and everything is in black light, and it's popping, lit up and everything. After we got off the Alice in Wonderland ride, he clapped and cheered.
How about that?
And I'm like, well, this is why we came here. But to Bob's point, it's the whole kind of, I never went to Disney when I was a kid, and recapturing moments that I never even had to begin with.
But it helps you reach back for your childhood.
I've had,
childlike.
Nostalgia, childlike wonder. I'm a big kid as soon as I step foot on property.
Yeah.
So
we've taken all of our kids a couple times, and we've been on our honeymoon, and I've probably been, at least a dozen times between the two parks.
Now, Carl, who works for the morning show, Carl, the intern, I don't like to call him that, but he just went to Disney and Universal last week.
For the first time?
No.
Oh.
For like the 50th time.
Oh, so he's one of the Disney adulters.
We were at the party.
Not adulterers.
Right, yes. We were at the party, and he's wearing an R2-D2 tie. I mean, this guy is bought in, and he claims he's not a Disney adult, though. I'm like, Carl, why are you fighting it?
I was going to say, his daughter is grown. If he's who's he going with if he's not an adult?
Friends.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
And I think what the Kelsey podcast saying, you don't need to be embarrassed about it.
No.
Embrace it and enjoy it. I have a cousin who's in the high price club where you get to go do things that nobody else can do.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Why don't you give me their phone number?
Okay.
All right, let me just text Carl here. Carl, we've all agreed you are a Disney adult.
Okay.
Send. All right. My story is Creve Coeur. The city council is set tonight to consider a plan for a new luxury apartment complex on Olive Boulevard. Do you guys know where Scotsman's Coin and Jewelry is?
Yes.
It is kind of just down the road from us and to the east of us here at the Big 550. But there is a 4-story apartment complex that is being planned on that site. Right now, it is it was a strip mall. Now it's half of a strip mall because half of it's been torn down. I don't know if that's where that bagel place was, but we all know Olive Boulevard and Creve Coeur, that part of Stretch, half of the strip mall is torn down. 4-story, 147-unit apartment complex with retail on the ground floor with a pool and back, but residents are not buying it. They have come out and said,
homeowners.
It's here, let me see if I can find the quote. It's just so big and so dense, said a resident and organizer of a group pushing back against this proposal. So it would be right on Olive. I mean, it's not like it's tucked into one of the neighborhoods back
It'd be
there.
a terrific location if you wanted to get one of those apartments.
Great
It'd probably be very
location.
high priced.
But it's one of those NIMBY kind of stories where the residents have come around and said, not in my backyard. So
okay, we'll put a prison there then.
Yeah. We'll just leave the half-demolished strip mall there. But we'll see what happens. You know, it's not, hey, look, it's not my neighborhood. If somebody was planning something like this in Newtown, I'd probably be outraged. But it looks like a fight is brewing in Creve Coeur over a 4-story apartment complex.
Guess we'll just wait and see what happens. Or maybe Ryan Krull knows a little something about it. He's going to join us here shortly to talk about a few of the stories that are making headlines at St. Louis Magazine. I'll tell you, there are so many headlines coming from Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital because they just do such great work. And you can actually read about some of them if you make a donation and you get their gratitude report. And it's one of those things that you smile reading some of the stories about kids who have overcome so much. And then all of a sudden, they're finishing high school or they're finishing kindergarten, and you get to kind of know a little bit about them. What I learned when my godchild was at Cardinal Glennon is that the love that is shown from the top down and the bottom up, I mean, every single person that comes into a child's room just presents with love, and they not only take care of the patient, but they're taking care of mom and dad and siblings. I mean, there are different games that they kind of bring to the room so that the kids can play with their siblings. There are little library nooks at different places, so if a kid can get out of the hospital, room and act like a normal kid, there are certain places for that. And then you've got musical therapists that every single time you see a musical therapist walk into a room, that the patients and parents' eyes just light up. There's therapy dogs. They just do so much to make the stay at Cardinal Glennon special and maybe to not make it feel like a hospital all the time. You can actually learn more about some of the fantastic programs that are changing the way that medicine is done. You can read about some of the fantastic new programs and services that they're doing at Cardinal Glennon. And you can read about some of the success stories, whether it's a nurse or a doctor or a patient, at glennon.org.
Your dentures no longer fit? Maybe you're missing a tooth or several teeth. Visit Dr. Bowen for Simply Secure Dentures and Dental Implants. The cutting-edge, high-quality dental implants that replace all the teeth in your mouth, and it starts as low as $7,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at simplysecuredentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or simplysecuredentures.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training, well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. comfort you can count on.
Before you put your home on the market, before you have to pay money fixing it up to sell it, before you have to pay real estate commissions, call me. I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I will buy your home. Any property, any condition, anywhere, and always as is. Call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. You have nothing to lose when you call Robank Properties at 314-283-0867.
When you send a text to the Big 550, do you wonder if we see all of them?
Of course we do.
We do pay attention and love your interaction on the Big 550 text line at 84126.
Don't like something? Love something? Just let us know.
Thanks for being a part of the KTRS family. And keep the text coming. We are the Big 550, the talk and text of St. Louis.
Wake up, it's a brand new day.
Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way.
It's the McGraw Show.
It's Carl the intern. On Tuesdays on the McGraw Show, we always talk to Altair Travel. They're going to tell us how to avoid this nasty virus on cruise ships. Here's an idea. Wash your hands.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the intern. Weekday mornings, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show
With Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey.
on the Big 550 KTRS. It's Monday.
And that means news, politics, lighthearted topics, and everything St. Louis and beyond.
It's Ryan Krull from St. Louis Magazine on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Well, Ryan, I think it's safe to say you've been slightly obsessed with this city-owned garage that houses abandoned cars. You're still kind of looking into it. What have you learned lately?
Yeah, I don't think obsessed is too strong of a way to phrase it. And just for a little bit of context here, so I've been reporting, as I'm sure listeners know, for months about parking in the city, which is run by Treasurer Adam Lane. Yeah, and he owns this, or he doesn't, the Treasurer's office owns and operates this parking garage at 7th and Pine Street. So I was looking into all of these things to do with parking, millions of dollars in unpaid parking tickets, Adam Lane forgiving his own parking tickets, that sort of thing. But the one question over the past few months I just couldn't get out of my head was, why are there so many abandoned cars in this one specific parking garage that the city owns? How did those cars get there?
Yes.
I asked around a lot about it. A lot of people have sort of clocked this problem, identified it, but no one really seems to know exactly how all these cars wind up there. And, this is a parking garage, like a lot of folks who are trying to save a few bucks parking at Busch Stadium, like they'll use this one. It's a little bit cheaper, and it's just, only a few blocks away. It's actually, this parking garage is right between Busch Stadium and the convention center as well. So anyways, I feel like even though it is a parking garage, right, it's still like a place where a lot of visitors from out of town wind up, even for just a few minutes while they're in the city. And it's just an awful look that we have these sort of, this kind of Mad Max style scene in this parking garage.
And so what did you find? I mean, who do these cars belong to?
Yeah, so I don't know who they belong to. That was sort of the frustrating thing. But a lot of them have been there for a very, very long time. I talked to someone who didn't want to be named for the story, but he told me that he parks in the garage often for work, and he kept seeing the same Cadillac Eldorado over the course of 4 years. It's been in the same parking spot, and it's just progressively gotten worse and worse and worse. And it had a vanity license plate. It said Superfly. So he took a photo of it just because he thought it was a funny license plate back when it looked okay. So we sort of had this like before and after photo, and it's just sort of night and day. I never realized time would be so rough on cars that just sit there not doing anything.
So has anybody taken pictures of license plates, gone to Department of Transportation or whomever and tried to track these down? Or is it just something that nobody wants to deal with? And I always go to the negative, Ryan. Is there something nefarious going on?
Yeah, so I did. I asked the police. I said, can you confirm or deny if these cars are stolen? And they wouldn't really say either way. I don't know that anything is I don't think anyone's making money off these cars just sitting there. But I do think there is a real issue with over the past few months, the city has actually done a pretty good job getting abandoned cars off of streets downtown. It was a real problem, a real eyesore. And I think in just April and May alone, our March and April alone, they towed 230 abandoned vehicles off the streets of downtown, which is great.
Yeah.
But I think with these garages, there's abandoned vehicles in there, and the problem is just a little bit out of sight. So I think it's slightly, it's slightly less of a priority for the city to clean up these garages. Although I think eventually they're going to have to get to it. And the other thing that's interesting, too, is this parking garage, the first floor is all commercial real estate that's rented out by the city. And they're kind of only doing a so-so job of it right now. It's about half empty. And that was something that a lot of folks who live and work around the area expressed sort of some disappointment with. They said, well, if the city's kind of acting like a landlord here, can they maybe be a little bit inventive, imaginative in figuring out how to lease up some of this space? Even if maybe they have to take a little bit of a loss in the early months of the business, could there be something that is there some option that a private landlord might not have available that the city could do just to get some, more foot traffic, some more business downtown?
Cash usually loosens people up a little bit. I wonder what would happen if you went and said, I want to buy the Cadillac.
Yeah, can I get the Superfly plates thrown in?
Yeah, and I wonder what would actually happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually how it should happen. Is if you accrue so many parking tickets, you go to the city tow lot.
Mm-hmm.
You never get if the car stays in the city tow lot, they can auction it off. So yeah, you're exactly right. Some of these cars, they should be generating some revenue for the city for sure. And I think if I remember correctly, the garage is I want to say it's $30 a day. So some of these cars that have been in there for years, right? They're gonna if they ever try to drive out, they're gonna have a hefty fee at the gate.
So, Ryan, to be clear, these cars were left in the garage or the city towed these cars to this garage?
Yes, they were left in the garage. Someone came in, parked, and then just
never came back.
Never came back. Yeah, that was actually a theory I kept hearing was that, this must be just sort of like an auxiliary tow site for the, yeah. But I asked the Mayor Spencer's chief operation officer, who kind of is in charge of all things tow, and he said, no, that's not it. And the chief operations officer of the city he had worked many decades for the Air Force prior to coming over to city government work. I just said, given all of your time in the military, what's your best guess as to how these cars got here? And he gave me sort of a funny quote. He said something like, Ryan, there's some questions that all my decades in the military just have not, prepared me to answer. And this is one of them. So it's kind of even befuddled this Air Force colonel.
So in my younger days, I had a friend who it was a red Ford Tempo. And he pulled into the parking lot behind Cicero's in U City, and the car wouldn't start when he went to leave. So he left it there, and frankly, years later, it was still there.
No.
We even moved into apartments back there, and we would joke as we drove past, hey, your red car's still there. Eventually, they came by and towed it.
Of course.
This is one story of one car in a parking lot. I can't imagine this many people have done that in one parking garage, the same parking garage in downtown St. Louis. So I'm thinking, if the military guy is flummoxed, I think aliens, Bob.
Oh, boy.
It's the only answer.
When in doubt, the answer is aliens, right?
Yes. Well, let's change to another story. A man who is able to avoid prison under the chaos of Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's office has been found guilty now. This goes all the way back to 2018. Who is this guy, Charles Priest Howard?
Yeah. So this was a man who he kind of became like an embodiment of the dysfunction in Kim Gardner's office. And the short version of the story is he was charged with murder in 2018. He was accused of killing this kind of kindly old man named Gregory Stevens, who had basically given Charles Howard a place to live for free. but the two got crosswise, and a few days later, Gregory Stevens wound up dead. So anyway, Howard gets charged with murder under Kim Gardner in 2018, and this was one of those cases where, if you recall, the prosecutor's office would keep dismissing the case and then refiling charges like that the very same day. And they did that basically because they didn't have the manpower, they didn't have the organization to prosecute these cases, and sort of they'd hit a deadline so that they would drop the charges and refile them as a way to sort of restart the clock. So anyway, over the course of, I guess it was about 4.5 years, he had his case dropped and refiled 3 times.
Wow.
And there was evidence. There was police say that he had talked to people about committing the crime afterwards, and there was some phone GPS data that would seem to suggest he was in the area when the crime occurred. But sort of despite all that, on Kim Gardner's very last day in office, I think it was May 16th, 2023, they dropped the case against Howard for the last time, and then she left the office, that same day, and it never got refiled. He kind of skated, and you might say he got off the hook. But then fast forward just a few years, and he assaulted another man downtown. He punched a 65-year-old with whom he'd had some bad blood and broke his jaw. And so this is a much less serious case. It was just an assault case, but it's sort of like a night and day comparison, looking at how Gardner's office handled it versus how it was handled under Gabe Gore, where, it went to trial in a pretty timely manner. After a 2-day trial, he was found guilty. So, even though friends and family of that 71-year-old man who was killed in 2018, they're still not at all happy about how things went down. There was perhaps some justice that he eventually, was found guilty of these other charges, that the system worked the second time around.
Yeah. And then one other story that caught our attention, Jennings wants a discount on policing. The county is pushing back. Why do they want this discount?
Well, I think they just they're like a lot of municipalities in the county, their budgets are strapped, and a big percentage of their budget, it's about 20%, is on policing, and they just contract that out to the St. Louis County Police, and per their contract with the county can raise the amount that they're charging Jennings. I think it's by 5% every year. So the county says, our costs are going up as well, so we need to basically raise what we're charging you, that full 5%. And Jennings, they don't want to pay. They're saying that they want it to be closer to 2%, and they're even willing to take a reduction in policing, in Jennings to make that happen. And the county says that they're already losing money. I think it's something like the contract is $350,000. In the red for the county already. So they're not interested in paying. Hello, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. So anyway, they're not interested in paying any less for these, being paid any less for these services. So it's basically they're kind of at a stalemate here, and I think the contract actually expired on March 30th. So they're kind of past the deadline for negotiation anyway.
Huh. So it will just stay the status quo of what the contract is at the moment?
Yeah, it will. And that will be that 5% increase. So I think Jennings, they're kind of negotiating from a little bit of a position of weakness here, because they've entered into this 10-year contract already, and it's automatically going to go up 5%. And, I think they might be able to talk it down a little bit, but I think the odds are going to be stacked against them.
Yeah. Well, you can follow these stories and more of Ryan's reports online at stlmag.com. Ryan, thank you so much for the hard work. Somebody on our text line said, good for him. I'm glad he's obsessed with this. It's the things like this, like a big abandoned car that looks like blank in our city.
Well, I'll just say, if any of your listeners know what's up with those cars, please reach out. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah. And somebody else texted. They said the hospital parking garage is the same way. We always wonder
if somebody passed away.
If somebody passed away, pulled into the hospital and never came out, or if it's just a place where you ditch a stolen car. But if it's a stolen car, I think the police could just drive through, run the plates, and at least figure things out that way. I don't get it. But you guys know where I stand on it. Aliens.
It is 4:35. Time to get a check of traffic once again with Captain Paul.
Heidi, there's a crash on 70 East past Union, but it's not causing a slowdown. 70 West is heavy between Goodfellow and Jennings Station. Also between 94 and Cave Springs, and from Route A to Route Z in Wentzville. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland and between 364 and 70. 270 South is slow between Olive and Manchester. 170 South crowded between Ladue Road and 64. 44 West is slow between North Broadway and 5564. 370 West busy between St. Louis Mills and 141. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested from 111 to 157 due to construction. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 Press.
All right. Thank you, Captain Paul. I am looking at possibly getting my hands on a new tax book. Yes, Jeff Zufall wrote a book called Keep What's Yours. There's a new book out, though. The original book was based off the 2018-2019 Trump tax cuts. The new book is updated with the new Trump tax cuts. The big, beautiful bill, that's a tax bill. Did you guys even realize what that was? That is our new tax code. It was passed last July 4th. The big, beautiful bill, one clean bill, one big, beautiful bill. It's our new tax code. And do you even know what's in it? Chances are you don't, because we don't tend to keep codified tax law sitting on our nightstands at night. Well, I mean, if you have insomnia, it'd be a great way to fall asleep. But that's when you step up and call Jeff Zufall at Capital Advisory Group, 636-394-5524, because he does read the tax law. He reads it for a living. And you can go to him and you could say, here's my life on paper. This is my tax return from the past couple of years. Here's my W-2s. Here's my paycheck stubs. Help me out here. And he can say, well, there's a new tax code on the books, and you could take advantage of X, Y, Z. Is it a health savings plan? Is it a flex spending savings plan, FSA, HSA? It's all word salad, but Jeff can help you parse through it because he is the tax professional. 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com. And if you wait too long and maybe you get some of this stuff set up in September or October, you'll realize, well, I had 3 months of tax keepings, but I wish I had the whole year. And if you get stuff set up now, you'll realize, boy, I got 6 months of tax keepings. And then the following year, if I just keep going, I'll have a full year of tax keepings, because if you're not taking advantage of the tax code, you're giving money to the federal government that you do not have to. Capital Advisory Group, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newstetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
You know that honeydew list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honeydew list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Spring is finally here, and it's time to plan your next trip with the travel experts at AAA Travel. Where do you want to go this year? AAA Travel makes vacation planning easy and stress-free. With early season deals on cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, and family vacations. Spring and summer trips are booking up quickly. So book early to lock in better pricing and availability. Visit your local AAA travel office or go online. AAA.com/travel sale.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Carney, Buck.
Tuesday, we catch up on sports with Frank Cusimano. You know him, he's on TV and stuff. George Mayhew talks Restaurant Tuesday, and Dee Dee Mao comes in for that. We'll get some tech talk from Dan Morin and more from Julie Max and me. We'll see you at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck. Weekdays at noon on KTRS. The talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi Bob. I was going to say Heidi Bob and Josh, but that's me.
Yeah.
Back in the day on this date, May 11th, 168 years ago, Minnesota became the 32nd state in the Union. 1858. Its nickname is the land of 10,000 lakes.
Yes.
But
beautiful lakes.
The state actually has about 12,000 lakes. They said it has more shoreline than California, Florida, and Hawaii combined.
Yeah.
Which I think is disingenuous when you say things like that. What do they say about the Lake of the Ozarks? There's more coastline there than California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a fact.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
What are you trying to say?
Okay, what are you trying to say by saying it's got more coastline?
Well, it's how big it is. It's giving you a sense.
And beaches.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever gone to every cove and every inch of the coastline at the Lake of the Ozarks?
I'm sure somebody has to measure it.
You know what I want to do sometime is get on somebody's boat and go
tip to tip
from the dam all the way up to Truman Lake.
Yeah, it would take.
And even through Truman. But
it would be cool. It would take forever.
Yeah, but it'd be neat.
I mean, it takes forever just to get, to across the lake from one side to the other.
That's right.
And isn't gas on the lake pretty expensive?
Yes.
That boat gas. What is it? Is it special, or is it just like the stuff I put in my car?
I'm not a
boat gas. I'm not either.
I'm pretty sure it's just like you put
The
in
regular
but
stuff?
to get it to the lake.
It's just that much more
Yeah.
expensive. And Bob, they got you by the you know what when you're stuck on the boat.
By
and
the
you're
stern?
Yeah, they got you by the stern and the bow, frankly. When you need gas. 1949 on this date, Siam officially changed its name to Thailand for the second time. The first time was 10 years earlier, in 1939, but then they changed it back in 1945.
I wonder if we'll change it back again.
For some reason. Well, it's been 77 years, and they're sticking
Time for a change.
with You know what? We're getting a little stale.
Why do they keep changing it? Like Burma and Myanmar.
Myanmar, yeah. I feel like that whole area has gone through some name changes. 1984's Firestarter, starring Drew Barrymore, who was 9 years old, was released in theaters. This is the first scary movie I think I remember.
Really?
Ever seen.
Stephen King book.
Well, there was a kid in it, so I thought it was, okay.
Stephen King hadn't really made an impression on you at that point.
No, not yet. And then there's flames everywhere, and my mom walks in and she says, Joshua, what are you watching?
What are you doing?
Firestarter. What a great movie. And then she sat down next to me. 1997, IBM supercomputer Deep Blue defeated world champion Garry Kasparov at chess. It was the first time a computer had ever defeated a world champion chess player. 14 years later, IBM's Watson computer destroyed the two best Jeopardy players in history.
I remember that.
The rise of the machines has begun, this story goes on to say. But, Ken Jennings and somebody else were playing against this computer, and it was like $100,000, and they had scraps. So,
well, as we know now, it's not fair. If they've got all the information, the deal is, on Jeopardy, you have to have recall. Can you recall what you learned? Well, the computer doesn't have to worry about that.
No, that's right.
It's just already has all the info.
I wonder if, like, when Alex was reading the questions, because he was still around back then, if they ever buzzed in before he was done talking.
Ooh.
Or
like name that tune.
Or were they listening, or did they feed them the question, in written code? Or did they also have, like, microphones to listen to human speech?
I don't remember how it was done.
I know. It is pretty scary, though. If they can win all of our game shows, what do we have left?
I don't think they can win Plinko.
Well, they're supercomputers, Bob. They'll figure it out.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
If it's time to replace your windows and doors, choose Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis. Pella's trusted local experts work in your area and within your budget, backed by the most preferred window and door brand by homeowners. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details. Study of homeowner perceptions of leading national brands. Study commissioned by Pella 2023.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Country Club Car Wash is the best car wash in town. How do I know? I have an unlimited monthly pass to Country Club Car Wash, and it's fantastic. They're touchless, and you get free vacuums at select locations. Each and every day on the morning show, we will be giving away one free Country Club Car Wash to the text of the day. And each week, we'll be giving away a grand prize, 1 month of free Country Club Car Washes to the text of the week. We'll see you on the show, and we'll see you at Country Club Car Wash, cccwstl.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of?
Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news. Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's about 10 minutes before 5 o'clock. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, we are accident-free after a crash on 70 East past Union was just cleared. 70 West is heavy between 94 and Zumbel and from Route A to Route Z in Wentzville. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland, also from Lindbergh to Ballas and between 364 and 70. 270 South is slow between Olive and Ladue Road. 170 South crowded between Ladue Road and 64. 44 West is slow between 10th and 5564. 370 West busy between St. Louis Mills and 141. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested from 111 to 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the St. Louis Battlehawks. Battlehawks fans, it's game time Saturday, May 16th at 2 p.m. St. Louis takes on the Houston Gamblers. It's hats off to heroes honoring those who serve our country and community. First 10,000 fans score a free Battlehawks hat courtesy of St. Luke's. Don't miss the action. Get your tickets now at uflbattlehawks.com. United we battle. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
One of several new bipartisan bills looks to remove the U.S. Secret Service from the Department of Homeland Security. Don Mahalik, ABC News law enforcement contributor and retired senior Secret Service agent, joins us with his thoughts. Now, Don, has the Secret Service always been under the Department of Homeland Security?
No. The Secret Service was originally founded and was in the Department of Treasury, where it stayed until about 2003, after the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks. President Bush and Congress got together. They decided we needed a Department of Homeland Security. So when it was created around 2003, the Secret Service got a phone call from the White House Chief of Staff, Andy Card, and was told summarily, we're going to move you into the Department of Homeland Security with no questions asked. So the Secret Service was pulled out of Treasury, placed in the Department of Homeland Security, and that's where it's been since.
And Don, where do they want to put it now?
Well, the current bill, which is one of a couple of bills that have come out over the last decade, would move the Secret Service out and put it as a direct report to the White House, which is potentially problematic on many levels because one of the issues up through JFK that was cited in the Warren Commission report was the Secret Service was too deferential to the president, which is why Kennedy didn't have the bubble top on his car when he was assassinated, because the Secret Service was yielding at that point in time to requests from the president related to his security. By putting a little bit of distance between the Secret Service and the president, it allows the Secret Service to perform its job without having to necessarily take the direction of its protectee, which is what's helped over the last couple of decades since JFK keep presidents safe. So I'm not sure moving it as a direct report to the White House is a good idea. Potentially moving it as a standalone agency, maybe under the national security umbrella with some distance from the White House might be a better idea. But, you know, one of the previous bills also wanted to move it back to Treasury. So they keep trying to come up with ideas to help. We'll see where they land.
Yeah, Don, it's almost like the White House has enough going on, like, well, who do they report to specifically? Now, I know the president takes a lot of meetings, but you'd think there'd be somebody in another office, so you got to create this whole new thing. I'm with you. It might be more problematic than saving efficiency.
No, absolutely. I mean, the Secret Service, as it is, the director has a direct line to the president.
Yeah.
It's not unheard of for the president to pick up the phone and call the Secret Service director on a whim. So there's already that line of communication. Having said that, though, as far as the bureaucracy, I think the Secret Service needs a different reporting structure than reporting direct to the White House. So that way it's able to keep an arm's length from the president and administration. So that way it doesn't suffer those political influences. It did suffer, as pointed out in the Warren report, after JFK's assassination.
Don, what's the problem with it being in the Department of Homeland Security?
Well, the Department of Homeland Security from inception had a strong focus on border security and immigration. I don't think that focus has left the department. The Secret Service was wedged in there in order to give the department some gravitas as it was trying to get its legs and get on it and get some standing within the federal government. But the Secret Service's missions of financial crime investigations and protection of foreign leaders don't necessarily fit neatly into the department. Now, the Secret Service has done some work to create a cyber footprint there, a cybersecurity footprint, but it's still not a neat fit for border security or immigration. And that puts the Secret Service in a competition mode every time it's trying to seek funding with all these other agencies in the department that are working on the priority missions of immigration and border security. So on a funding alone, it's been difficult for the Secret Service to get the funding it needs. And it also has to work through a department's bureaucracy like Homeland Security, which is massive, in order to be able to achieve some of its research and development and other things that if it was a standalone, it probably could do on its own.
And Don, when was the Secret Service founded, and what did they do beforehand?
So it's a great story. 1865, President Lincoln had a meeting with his Treasury Secretary who said we needed a group of individuals to fight at the time counterfeiting because 40% of U.S. currency in circulation was counterfeit. So he presented President Lincoln with the plan to create the Secret Service to fight counterfeiting. Lincoln signed off on a plan and then left to go to Ford's Theater.
Wow.
He was assassinated, and that same day the Secret Service was founded initially to combat counterfeiting, which it did pretty well in its inception, and then it lasted that way until the late 1800s when threats against we had lost two presidents to assassination. So on a handshake deal, they had the Secret Service cover Garfield. And then when McKinley came in, they were covering McKinley on a handshake deal. But then after McKinley was assassinated, Congress finally formalized protection of the president by the Secret Service, renewable on a year-to-year basis. Of course, that congressional authorization had no funding attached to it, and it had a lot of stipulations attached to it. So it's been a long haul for the Secret Service to get to the point of being a fully funded operational agency.
You know, I'm picturing the agents now with the sunglasses and the earpiece and the dark suits, but back in 1890, which seems somewhat out of place. But what about that uniform, Don? Is that something that even on vacation when Barack Obama goes to Hawaii, is the Secret Service in dark suits and neckties?
So the suit is always with the agents when they're going on vacation places. But generally when a president's going places, and this came from the director at the time who was running the Secret Service around the turn of the century, who wanted to make sure that the agents blended in with their protectee. So they do change and dress in different modes depending on where they're going in order to blend in with whatever the protectee is doing. So if you're on a beach, those agents there are dressed in beach attire. If you're playing golf, like presidents like to do, they're in khakis and a polo shirt. So they try to blend in with the protectee.
Well, it's so fun to have a chance to check in with you every now and again, Don. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And just like that, it's quitting time on this Monday afternoon. We, however, have more to get to. We're going to check in with ABC's transportation reporter, find out what Memorial Day travel looks like. We'll also talk a little sports with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Hantavirus monitoring is taking place in 2 states after 17 Americans and 1 British national were evacuated from that Dutch cruise ship. 16 in quarantine at a facility in Omaha, Nebraska. 1 person who tested positive is in a biocontainment unit. 2 others were flown to Georgia. ABC's Steve Osunsami is outside Emory Hospital.
Emory University Hospital is part of the Regional Emerging Special Pathogen Treatment Center network within the federally supported National Special Pathogen System, which provides specialized capabilities for safely managing high-consequence infectious diseases.
Talks between the U.S. and Iran now stalled again. It comes after the president rejected Iran's response to a ceasefire deal. The president says Iran cannot hold on to its nuclear ambitions, and strikes could resume.
It's unbelievably weak, I would say. I would call it the weakest right now. After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it. They said, I'm not going to waste my time reading it.
The president also says he would support lifting the federal gas tax temporarily to help ease surging gas prices. Virginia Democrats asking the U.S. Supreme Court to override a decision by the state's highest court that overturned a voter-approved redistricting ballot measure last week ahead of the midterm. South Carolina also considering redrawing its maps, including the district of lone Democratic House member Jim Clyburn. ABC News Washington Bureau Chief Rick Klein with more.
You can put voters in a new district, but you can't force them who to vote for. So if you move those voters, including in Congressman Clyburn's district, which is a majority black district in South Carolina, into other districts, the fight becomes for those other districts. Someone like Jim Clyburn, he's been elected 17 times to Congress. His district has changed a number of times.
Severe weather targeting parts of the South again today in drought-stricken regions, and extreme heat in western and mountain states raising the risk of wildfires. You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
77 degrees at 5:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. The City of St. Louis Recovery Office today announced that over 120 tornado-damaged properties have been submitted and approved by the state of Missouri for demolition under the Senate Bill 1 demolition program. 36 demolitions are actively underway or have been completed, and the remaining will be completed over the next few months. The focus is on 12 North St. Louis neighborhoods, with the heaviest concentrations in Greaterville, Fountain Park, and Academy, and significant additional work underway in Penrose, O'Fallon, Lewis Place, and Kingsway East. Residents are expressing concerns over a proposed apartment complex in Creve Coeur.
A new luxury apartment complex could be coming to Creve Coeur.
The City Council is expected to consider the plan at tonight's meeting, where residents are expected to voice their opposition to the plan. Kansas City-based Garrison is proposing the 4-story apartment complex along Olive Boulevard, which includes retail space. Among the concerns stated in a citizen's petition is increased traffic and that it could set a precedent for more high-rise apartment buildings. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
An Overland man and a woman accused of videoing themselves abusing a 1-year-old child are now facing charges. Police say the child was a neighbor of the suspects and remains hospitalized with a brain bleed. An investigation is underway after a pedestrian was struck and killed in South St. Louis. Police say this happened late yesterday afternoon along Graveway and Allen in the Soulard neighborhood. And a Metro East community has been named one of America's safest college towns.
Edwardsville has been named the 14th safest college town in the United States in a Research.com article on the 50 safest college towns in America. The article cites low violent crime rates, community safety, and the vibrant atmosphere surrounding SIU Edwardsville. Edwardsville recorded 0.3 violent crimes and 5.77 property crimes per 1,000 residents, according to FBI Uniform Crime Reporting data and U.S. Census Bureau estimates. SIUE Police Chief David Goodwin says, quote, "This recognition underscores what we see every day. A community where engaged residents, campus partners, and dedicated law enforcement work side by side to create a safe, supportive environment for our students and community," end quote. David Solomon, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The housing market is slow in what is traditionally the busiest time of year. The market has been in a slump since 2022, and experts say this is home buying season, but they are not predicting an increase in sales compared to last year. Now the market's brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow was up 95 points at 49,704. NASDAQ up 27 at 26,274. And the S&P 500 up 13 at 7,412. Now let's throw it to Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, Mizzou running back Ahmad Hardy was the victim of a shooting at a concert in Mississippi early Sunday morning. He is in stable condition after undergoing surgery. His return to football timetable is unknown at this stage. The Cardinals are off today after splitting a 4-game series with the Padres in San Diego. The Birds will take on the Athletics in Sacramento tomorrow. And Mizzou baseball beat Vanderbilt 4-1 in Columbia. It's the first time since 2018 that the Tigers won a series over the perennial powerhouse Commodores. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. There's an accident on 44 East before Washington, blocking the 2 left lanes with a bumper-to-bumper backup to 55-64. 44 West is slow between 10th and 55-64. 70 West heavy between 94 and Zumbel, and from Route A to Route Z in Wentzville. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland, also from Lindbergh to Ballas and between 364 and 70. 270 South is slow from 64 to Big Bend. 170 South crowded between Forest Park Parkway and 64. 370 West is busy between St. Louis Mills and 141. And in Illinois, 64 East is a little slow between 111 and 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Sunny skies for the rest of the day. Clear overnight with an overnight low in the mid-50s. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 84. Right now at 8 minutes past 5 o'clock, sunshine and 77 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
30 years going strong. We are live, local, and locally owned. This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
Choose Pella of St. Louis for window and door replacement to help enhance your home. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
You're listening to The Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hard to believe, but we're already looking towards Memorial Day, and it looks like more people are going to travel than ever. Aisha Ali, ABC News transportation reporter in Washington, joins us with those numbers. How's your day going?
I'm good. It's a little cloudy today, but sun is almost around the corner. Like you mentioned, summer travel season unofficially begins the Memorial Day travel weekend. And we expect, or AAA expects, 45 million Americans to travel at least 50 miles from home during that time, which, if you think about it, sounds a lot. But experts also say that it's the same amount of people that sort of like travel every year. We are, though, seeing that this year more people are going to be, or predominantly people are going to be driving rather than like flying. So they expect 39.1 million of those people to travel by car, and then over 3 million people are expected to fly.
Wow. And how does that compare to years past?
So they've been around in that 40 million numbers, but it's been predominantly in if you think about percentage-wise, there's more towards like people who are traveling by car compared to like by flying. And we tend to see that do a lot more like when it comes to these smaller, longer weekend holidays, because people prefer like driving because it's like closer by, or taking shorter trips, versus when we get into those bigger holidays later in the year, like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
You know, Aisha, it's interesting. We talk about, and all of us, me maybe especially, complaining about gas prices, but it almost becomes like a first world problem when you see people complain, but they're still going to the pump, they're still driving everywhere. But maybe the difference this season is not as many flying, because you'll pay $20, $30, $40 more for something, but not $100, $200, $300 more.
Yeah, so there's obviously, like you mentioned, there's that difference, because now we know those baggage fees have increases, airfare has increases. So it's like if you're traveling with like families, you're like, okay, all these fees are adding up, versus you're like, okay, if I'm going by car, it's just predominantly gas price might be higher, but I might be able to get a cheaper deal for the hotel, or even Airbnbs. And sometimes, people have family members. They're like, we can just stay and crash at their places. Mm-hmm. So they're able to like save money in that end. And I'm glad that you mentioned the high gas prices, because although we are seeing definitely higher than what we saw last year, which were compared to the previous years, people are, they are used to seeing higher gas prices in general during the spring, summer period. Like experts I've spoken to, they say that gas prices, typically peak in July. And in 2022 was like the last time we had like a record year for gas prices, where the national average hit $5 a gallon. So if you think about today, the national average is about $4.50 a gallon. So we're getting close to that. How soon or later we hit that, that'll be something we're seeing. But, these prices keep shifting because they're so volatile, and they depend on the crude oil prices. So it could go down, it could go up. It'll be worth watching.
Is it still true that gas prices always go up in the summer during the peak travel seasons? And if this war in Iran wraps up neatly somehow in the next 3 weeks, would we even see a drop in gas prices as the summer starts to get rolling?
So we have seen, anytime there's been like optimism, or there's been news about, the Strait of Hormuz could reopen, so that the price of oil does start to come down. So it has had some sort of an impact on these gas prices as well that we have seen. But we do know that compared to like last year, on the national average, we are paying at least $1.40 more. And they do peak in summer, because that's when they change it, because summer blend gasoline becomes more expensive. So the demand for gasoline also goes up. So people are out there more. People like to drive. They go on a drive, and they're taking those trips, compared to like when winter, people are like, they like staying at home and not driving that, snowstorms and all that stuff. So we do see that shift just in general, like you mentioned, in summer.
And then I don't know if you have any of this information in front of you, but this thing's been going on for, a couple of months now. Have people stopped buying premium and the ultra premium gas and just said, you know what, it's all too expensive, I'll just take the cheap stuff? Have we seen that at all?
We have not seen specific trends on that, but what I have seen and what I've spoken to people at pumps, they've said that they have reduced the number of times they do get gas filled up in their cars. So they're trying to use it less, maybe commuting more by taking trains and buses and metro when they can. As this guy I spoke to, he was like, I'm buying cheaper bread to sort of like compensate for the gas. So they're trying to make those different lifestyle changes. Some people are like, we're trying to, use the car less or fill it less. So instead of, if someone was doing it like twice in a month or twice in a week, they're cutting that down to like once.
Interesting. Aisha, it's always great to get your insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to have the experts at Premier Heating and Cooling check things out. Their technicians go through 5 years of training well beyond industry standards. So when they perform a tune-up, they're making sure your system is running safely, efficiently, and ready for whatever the next St. Louis weather swing brings. If your furnace or air conditioner is older or starting to struggle, Premier can help with that too. They offer financing options that make replacing your system far more manageable, and a new unit can mean better comfort and lower energy bills all year long. So whether it's a quick tune-up or time for an upgrade, call the team that knows how to handle St. Louis weather. 636-916-1122, premierheatingcooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Great story about Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. One of the wives called up and said, hey, we need an electrician. Call Michael Baldy. And the husband said, no, I can do it. Well, the wife overrode the husband, called up Michael Baldy at 314-968-9999. Maybe she checked the website first, baldyelectric.com. So Michael Baldy came out to the house. While he was at the house, the husband says, well, since you're here, I've got 3 or 4 other jobs for you. It turned out to be an all-day affair. They took care of everything. And so, no, the husband couldn't get it done. Good thing the wife called Baldy Electric, and now the whole house is fixed because of one simple phone call to Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. Indoor, outdoor, brand new commercial building, an old Victorian home, it doesn't matter. Michael Baldy and his team of electricians will take care of you. 314-968-9999, Baldy Electric or baldyelectric.com.
Meet me at the Village Bar. Ready for the world's best cheeseburger, homemade onion rings, trashed wings? It's the Village Bar for food and sports. Cards, Blues, Mizzou, NFL, the game's always on. Open 7 days a week in De Pere. Grab your friends, grab a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Hi, this is Frank Cusimano from the Frank and Jill Show. Join us for Tuesday's program at 10 o'clock. Ross Shavitz is going to join us because pickleball, professional pickleball, is coming back to St. Louis. We'll also talk with Joe Holloman and Dr. Rick. That's the Frank and Jill Show on Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon. Right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey is back to talk a little sports. We got to start with Mizzou's running back, Ahmad Hardy. He was shot over the weekend. Do we know anything about his condition?
That he's in stable condition at last check. Some of the reports indicate that he was shot in the upper leg. So that's about the extent of it. There is no timetable for a return to the field, and I think if you're a Mizzou fan, you just take a sigh of relief that it wasn't more serious. Any type of situation involving a gun, you take a deep breath, and I think it's a reminder for folks. I understand you're a college-age kid, but good things never happen out in public after 1 in the morning.
Isn't that
after
so
midnight,
true?
too, yeah. I mean,
Remind me of his number. I mean, how important was he to Mizzou's lineup last season?
oh, my gosh, he was arguably the best running back in the country.
Yep.
You bring him back along with Jamal Roberts in the hopes of reigniting maybe the best backfield in all of college football. So all of that is a conversation for another day, I think, until we understand the extent of his injury. I think, again, today we're just happy that it's not more serious and that it's not life-threatening.
Right.
I mean, it could be it could be threatening to his season. I don't know. I think there's some optimism that he's going to be able to play football again, but that's just we just don't know at this point.
Know yet.
Yeah.
We've heard stories of college players who run with, a bad crew or whatever, and there's many to point at, but by all accounts, Ahmad Hardy has been an exemplary person
Absolutely.
in the community, and we've seen the videos of him riding his horses and everything. He seemed like a really good guy, so maybe he was just in the wrong place, wrong time.
100%. Yeah, I think that's what we're going with right now. It was at we heard a concert, and it sounds like it was more like a small venue sort of concert. We hear maybe a rap concert where he might have known some of the individuals that were performing on the night. I think he was one of 2 individuals that were actually hit. There are 3 individuals in custody, so that's been so that's good. There isn't anybody out there that, or maybe there still are. I don't know, but 3 individuals that reportedly have been arrested. And I think right now for Ahmad Hardy, it's just about recovering and hopefully being able to do everything he hoped he was going to be able to do at Mizzou next season. But again, that's a conversation for another day because we just don't at this point know.
Right. I did see that Mizzou's women's golf team is going to the NCAA tournament. That's a big deal.
I know our Eli Hoff has coverage on that in the Post-Dispatch today. That is awesome, and I know Mizzou Golf has had varying degrees of success over the years, but that's pretty cool to hear about an opportunity to go to the NCAA tournament. Always a big deal.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Michael McGreevy having a night to remember on Friday night.
He was awesome, and you're starting to see his stuff, his swing and miss stuff tick up.
9 strikeouts?
Yeah, and he was electric, and I think right now for McGreevy, it's a matter of watching him each and every time out improve, and I can be big enough to admit that I probably undersold what he was capable of, Rammer. I've said a lot of maybe he's a 4th or 5th starter in a really good rotation, and that's about it. I don't know if he's ace level stuff, but he might be closer to a mid-rotation guy. The fact that each and every time out, you know exactly what you're going to get from him. He floods the strike zone with strikes. His control is impeccable. But now when you start to learn hitters' tendencies, and you just feel more comfortable as a big leaguer, and you develop those out pitches that you can throw and get a swing and miss. And I think he elicited more swings and misses last Friday than at any point in his big league career in a single game. He hasn't had that many big league games, but the fact that we consider him, well, he's a pitch to contact guy. You want to get your defense involved. He's showing right now against a pretty good San Diego team that he was capable of more than that.
I think he's showing the problem of media types and even professional scouts putting a label
Yeah.
on a
Mhm.
player way too soon.
Yeah, that's a great
100%.
point. Last night did not end up quite as well.
No, and that's a real tough one because you were a strike away from winning 3 of 4 in the series. Riley O'Brien has been dynamite, and one bad pitch, you give up the game-tying home run, and then the game-tying home run, game-winning sacrifice fly in the 10th inning. It's a really tough pill to swallow because I think the Cardinals did everything. Ali Marmol, I think, managed the series impeccably well, and you had your guy in there in the situation you want him in, and it was one bad pitch to Nick Castellanos that caught you.
Don't worry about the loss. You got to score more runs.
And 100%.
And
yeah.
the bottom half of the lineup, for you to be really good, needs to pick up. But that's one of the things. It's just going to take time to develop. That's the word I keep using for this whole organization, develop. So there are going to be nights when the bottom half doesn't do anything, and you've got to find a way to win 2-1 and 3-2.
And there's two things with this team that we know aren't particularly strong. Middle of the bullpen, at times really bad, and the back end of your batting order. It's whether you want to say it's 5 through 9 or 6 through 9, it's just not as solid. And the top of the order is phenomenal. But yeah, the back end, there's some weaknesses
right
there.
Now, your top 4 hitters and Mason Wynn.
Yeah.
So that's 5 out of 9. Say, hey, not bad. For a rebuilding team, I think it's better than that.
And I still think at times Church has looked really good, and he brings you great defense. I think his bat is solid, and the problem is he's one of your corner outfielders or your center fielder, and you need more offense than that from one of your guys, and you expect more. But I think Church he's been fine, and at times better than fine.
Yeah. What about the Battlehawks? They seem to bring in a decent crowd over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think when we compare to some of the crowds they've had earlier in their run, I still think it ticked off a little bit. Yeah, and they were one of the lower attended games, but that's a Friday night. I still think if you're the Battlehawks and you're the UFL, you got to find a way. You play on Saturday or you play on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
So
these Friday night games.
So what matters to the league more, being on TV or getting people in the stands?
You said it. You can't have it both ways, because if it's about it being a television product, which I get,
that's fine.
Then understand you're going to have these games that aren't as well attended. And this football fan base, they want to go, they want to tailgate on a Sunday morning. They want to make it like they have an NFL team, and that's a big part of it. I think it's well documented. The Sunday afternoon games are the most well attended for the Battlehawks. But if you're Fox and the television partners having a Friday night primetime sporting event, Fox has done this now for a while. They want a Friday night game on, whether it's UFL, whether it's college football, whether it's college basketball, whether it's Major League Baseball. They want something on Friday night that's a live sporting event. They used to have WWE. They no longer have it. So they're counting on sports. So the UFL is going to land there on occasion. I don't think it's great for the in-person crowd, but yeah, it might be better for their television product.
Let me just remind everyone, as a former season ticket holder.
You're no longer a season ticket holder?
Part of the problem.
No.
Oh, man.
I went to the game on Friday.
They lost Josh.
They did. They lost
This is a problem. This is a big problem.
Yeah.
Well, they had me for 5 years, but
That's how long they've been playing?
a Sunday morning or afternoon game on Mother's Day, thank God it was on Friday night, because I would not have gone.
Yeah, it may be, so maybe in that regard, it was the better
given
call.
weekend.
And it's not, but it wasn't just this weekend though. They have Thursday night games. They had a weird Tuesday night game.
Tuesday night game was
weeks
ridiculous,
ago.
right?
So,
but it was 15 or 16,000. That's not very good.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad they didn't do it on Mother's Day itself.
That's
'cause
fair.
They probably wouldn't have gotten a crowd.
Can I bring up our WNBA reporter, Heidi Glaus, to talk
Yes.
about the opener? It was very entertaining. Didn't you think, the opener?
With the Fever and Dallas coming down to the last shot, it was pretty amazing. And to see the top 4 number 1 picks the last 2 years, you have Paige and AZ Fudd, and then you have Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. I mean, it's all you could really ask for.
I thought the difference in the game was transition, offense, and defense. Dallas was... I don't know. It was how good they were versus how bad the Fever were getting back in transition defense. But if you look at all the numbers and you watch the game, that was the difference in the game. Transition.
It was. It's a lot of fun to watch them play, and so many great girls. And our local, Kate Martin, was released from the Golden State, but she's just now been picked up by somebody, at least to be on like a training team and to see what happens with her. So I hope
she's
good
solid.
things for her.
She'll play.
Yeah.
How's Caitlin Clark's health right now?
You know, she's gone out a couple of times, but she's starting, and Sophie Cunningham started and looked really good. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time before they kind of work it all together. What's coming up tonight?
We will we'll talk some hoops. We'll talk more about this Ahmad Hardy situation. Sam Snelling, Rammer joined me to break down the SLU roster. Sam Snelling joins me to break down the Mizzou roster now that we're into or wrapping up the transfer portal season. We'll have more news on the Ahmad Hardy situation. We will talk some Battle Hawks with Anthony Miller, our UFL correspondent. Yeah, so there will be some Cacaw talk. And Cardinals don't play, so we'll probably kick the tires on a little baseball tonight as well.
All right, we'll be listening.
Thanks Heidi.
It is 5:30. Time to check back in with Captain Paul. What are you seeing on the roads?
Heidi, I see an accident on 44 East before Washington downtown, blocking the 2 left lanes with a bumper-to-bumper backup to 5564. Estimated clearance time is 5:55. 44 West is slow between 10th and 5564. 70 West is heavy from TR Hughes to Route K, also from Route A to Route Z in Wentzville. 64 West is busy from Kings Highway to McCausland and between 364 and 70. 270 South slow from 64 to Manchester, and 170 South is crowded between Forest Park Parkway and 64. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Heard a great story about the window store the other day. Larry Thornton, the owner of the window store, 314-739-0002 or WSWindow.net, told me a story. He had a customer call him up and say that he wanted to replace his white vinyl windows with darker windows. And so, of course, Larry took care of him. So now they're all darker and sort of brown in color. Looks beautiful. They're energy efficient. There was no upselling. They're great quality windows, and Larry Thornton and the window store took care of him. That's what he does. The price is extremely reasonable, better than the national companies because there aren't the layers of middle management. The window store has been around for 38 plus years. Proud sponsor here at the Big 550 KTRS. Windows, and don't forget about doors. Doors can get really expensive real fast. That's why you want to go with a company you can trust. Installation, price, selection, quality. The window store. Window store. WSWindow.net. 314-739-0002. WSWindow.net.
If your ride's out of warranty and something big breaks, it could cost you thousands. Ludacris here. Let me put you on to the auto protection I trust, Endurance. With Endurance, you could never have to pay out of pocket for covered car repairs again. I'm talking about the pricey stuff: drivetrain, transmission, electrical, AC, plus lots more. You pick the certified mechanic and Endurance pays them directly. No middlemen, no runaround. If your car is under 20 years old, you're covered with unlimited miles. Plus added benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and towing. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Listen, saving money is the same as making money. So who's gonna cover your next breakdown? You or Endurance? Right now, pick the plan that's right for you and get a full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee.
For your fast-free quote, call 800-299-9582. 800-299-9582. 800-299-9582. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
I've been asked to say a word about Allen Roofing. That's not fair. I can't say it in a word. If they just did roofs, I probably could. I would say roofs. But they can do siding. They could replace it. They could put leaf guards on. They could reattach it like they had to do for me, where my gutter kind of came away from the house. Siding issues, they carry James Hardy, the very best. They can fix that too. Basically, if it's something you could see from the outside of your home or your office, they can fix it, improve it, or replace it. Look, it's probably the biggest investment you're ever going to make. Protect it. Absolutely. And nobody does it better than Allen Roofing. Check out all the reviews online. Everybody else seems to know. I shouldn't have to tell you these things. For all of your roofing needs and so much more, Allen Roofing. Find them online at aroofing.net.
It's Julie Buck, and it's just a good time to be alive. There's probably an Only facial right around the corner from your house. This is the best thing going. There's no gratuity, it's one price, and you get 12 different steps of a facial, including a cleanse. They even fix your brows for you. They do some dermaplaning, microdermabrasion, a chemical peel, even a little relaxing massage, some extractions, red light therapy. Then they do the microcurrent high frequency to get that collagen going, and a treatment mask. And then they give you a little hydration and SPF to be on your way. You come in as you are at the Only Facial with locations all around town, and you can't beat $125 for all of the things I just mentioned. And you can go to their website and find out about all the locations and see a video of what the experience of the Only Facial is like. I think you'll love it. Give it a try, and don't forget they have a new location in Creve Coeur right at Olive and 270, right behind the new Chick-fil-A. So go see The Only Facial or go online, theonlyfacial.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, let's talk a little entertainment news. Michael has become the second highest grossing biopic of all time, beating out Elvis. The Michael Jackson biopic has netted $577 million since it hit theaters 3 weeks ago.
Wow. I really find that surprising given all the talk about it beforehand.
Well, I think you got to realize how popular he was overseas, too. It's not just here in the States.
All right. Great.
And he was the king of pop.
That's right.
Period.
Mm-hmm. And the story is interesting, regardless of all the bad things that happened.
Or
his
who's
story,
telling the story, regardless of who's telling the story.
I haven't seen it. I understand it kind of ends before all the other problems came along.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll probably see it when it streams.
Do we want that out of our biopics, biopics? Do we want a full picture of the person, or do we just want the hits?
If the movie's good, I don't care what they left out.
It depends.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
And especially if they're going to water it down or not tell it how it actually was. I mean, it's still creativity, and somebody else is telling the story. A Fast and Furious TV series is officially in the works at Peacock. Vin Diesel made the announcement with Jimmy Fallon at the NBC Universal's upfront presentation today. He says, for the last decade, we've realized that the fans have wanted more. Have they? They wanted us to expand the legacy characters, their stories, and for the last decade, the desire has been for us to enter the TV space that I guess Jimmy Fallon has mastered. So I don't know if he's going to have some kind of producer role, but we'll see. Speaking of, Riley Green is joining The Voice as a coach this fall. He'll be joined by Kelly Clarkson and Adam Levine. So that'll be kind of interesting.
The Fast and the Furious roller coaster just opened up at Universal out in Hollywood, out in L.A., and I wonder if they are doing this as a weird tie-in.
Probably wouldn't hurt either.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt, but this thing looks massive, Bob.
Really?
You'd really like it.
Yeah.
It's got one of those at our Six Flags. It was the first thing it was the Tony Hawk thing.
Oh, yeah.
The cars spin themselves while you're going down the roller coaster. So it's an added level
I
of
can't wait to ride it and
stomach
throw
drop.
up.
Savannah Guthrie posted a Mother's Day message to her mom saying, quote, "We will never stop looking for you. We will never be at peace until we find you." Now, the sheriff in that county is saying that he feels like they're getting closer, but I don't know. Is that just words?
I hope it's true, because if it's not necessarily
false
true,
hope.
that false isn't
Yeah.
as bad. Do you have the other news on her?
I sure do. Speaking of Savannah, she's going to host a game show version of Wordle on NBC. Jimmy Fallon is the executive producer. I do. Wordle is the one game I play every single day.
Yeah, I think the people that are into it, it becomes an everyday habit.
Oh, it really is. And it makes you think. It's when I get up and I'm having my coffee, and it kind of fires up the brain a little bit.
Did you get today's word?
I did.
I kind of lucked into it, frankly.
While you guys are doing that, I'm reading box scores.
Yeah. To each their own. You just mentioned 3 TV shows, and 2 of them are being produced by Jimmy
Yes.
Fallon.
Smart guy.
Maybe he's preparing for after late night. I can't imagine a world where the Tonight Show is no longer on the air, but it seems like more and more people are giving up their late night.
At some point, will all the network shows all be streaming and there's nothing over the air?
That's what I was saying. It's like all of a sudden I found myself paying for NBC shows that have commercials on it in Peacock.
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch that show, The Paper, the Office spinoff, The Paper.
Is it good?
I only watched 1 episode.
I'm going to say no then.
There's commercials. There's commercials in it. I thought the whole point of paying for
That was
streaming,
way back, Josh.
And that's one of the reasons why we're going through the budget. We just canceled Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they've backed into this model, but it's essentially saying, how can we get people to watch NBC?
I would take a different
and make
approach.
them pay monthly for it.
I think they learned from newspapers that you can't go backwards and charge, where all the papers, like, we're giving it to you for free, and then all of a sudden now you have to pay for it. It doesn't work that way. People don't want to do it. So if you're going to make money, you better charge and get the commercials in the very beginning. And then if you decide to upgrade and not have the commercials, that's a different thing. But don't forget, it's all a business. They're not here for you and your, enjoyment.
I feel like I was reading Rolling Stone one day years ago, and I realized this isn't a rock and roll magazine. This is an advertisement delivery system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, every single thing is.
They're here for advertising and to sell advertisements.
Back to NBC, Tamron Hall revealed that she turned down $2 million with NBC when Today replaced her with Megyn Kelly. She said all money's not good money when discussing why she turned down the multi-million-dollar contract with NBC in favor of her self-worth, which I get.
Megyn Kelly. I'm trying to picture Megyn Kelly.
She's the blonde that was on Fox
She was
News
on Fox
forever,
News.
and then they brought her over.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
It did not work at all.
Yeah, did she have the 9 o'clock hour?
Yeah,
it was awful.
Now, I'm sorry, the name just didn't hit me.
Yeah.
But it was a disaster.
It was awful, and Show Me St. Louis followed it. Nobody was watching. It took down every show with it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was bad. Kevin Bacon, speaking of bad, got stung by bees multiple times while hiking with his daughter and her boyfriend, but he was the only one that the bees attacked, and he said they must have liked my work or something. So he's pretty funny.
Yep.
In her first statement since rehab, Britney Spears said she's thankful to her friends and the quote, many new beautiful people I've met through my spiritual journey.
Didn't she just go in?
She's still there, I
she's
think.
still there.
She's just
Being
kind of
thankful.
commenting on it.
Good.
Dua Lipa is suing Samsung for $15 million for using a copyrighted picture of her in its TV packaging. That seems like a big mistake.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah. The Red Hot Chili Peppers just sold their recording music catalog.
Wait. Okay, so Bruce Springsteen sold it for $500 million. Bob Dylan was in the hundreds of millions of dollars. This is a great way for aging rock stars to cash in while they're still relevant. The Red Hot Chili Peppers sold their catalog for $300 million.
That's his guess.
That's my guess.
You saw it.
No, was I right?
300 million.
On the nose.
On the nose.
You've always been. You've really had your. Had the pulse of the music industry always.
Guys, I do the financial show on the weekends.
Oh boy, yeah. You know what? When we give you a compliment, just take it and move on.
Yeah, simple thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Don't relish in it.
Not sure how I did that.
Luke Combs received an honorary degree of music from Appalachian State University. He went there from 2008 to 2012 to work on a criminal justice degree, but he left right before he graduated to pursue his music career, which is kind of cool.
I was there for the first time this past fall. It's beautiful.
Is it?
Beautiful place.
Jimmy Kimmel is going to air a rerun during Stephen Colbert's final late show broadcast. Those guys all stick together.
Professional courtesy.
Yeah,
what about Jimmy Fallon?
They haven't said, but I bet he does the same. Because they're all going to be on the show leading up to that final one, which is, by the way, May 21st.
Yeah, I was going to say, when is that? So that would be next
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
As far as TV goes, tonight, the 24th season finale of American Idol is on ABC. I mean, there's so many performers. Nelly's performing. I mean, it's a long, long list. You've got the series finale of The Neighborhood on CBS. I thought that was a cute show.
Oh, is it done?
Yeah, this is it. Series finale. The series finale of DMV is also tonight on CBS. That didn't last long. Watch What Happens Live is on Bravo, and Lisa Kudrow and Sally Field are Andy's guests. Let's do a couple birthdays.
Yeah, I got 3. I think they're kind of tough today, so thinking caps. Get your Wordle caps on.
Okay.
All right. One of the hottest singers going, Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, she sure
is. How old?
Yeah. No, I did hear this on McGraw's show.
Oh, are you going to recuse yourself?
I will recuse myself. See, look at how honest I'm being, Heidi. I could have mopped the floor with you.
27.
Bang, got it.
Oh, you saw it.
Yeah.
You saw it on the Today Show.
Well, you've got a chance now. You did the honorable thing.
I did.
Now come back and win, Joshy.
Yes.
Okay.
All
See
right.
what you got.
Original MTV VJ Martha Quinn.
Oh.
She was young. She was the youngest one, right?
65.
When did MTV first air? 81? Was that 40? Well, I was born in 81. So 44 years. Yeah, 45 years ago. And I bet she was 19. 64.
What'd you say, Heidi?
65.
67. No winners there. Last one. I think this is going to be really tough on you guys, but use some deductive reasoning. But I know a lot of fans will appreciate this. It goes back to the 82 World Series that the Cardinals won. One of the most unheralded of the Cardinals' heroes in 82. In the 82 World Series, he hit .529. He was 9 for 17 with 4 doubles. Dane Orge.
What? He played for our team?
He was 9 for 17. He had 4 doubles.
What position?
He was a left-handed hitter, off the bench for the most part. A platoon guy, played corner infield and corner outfield. So depending on how wide he wanted to mix and match, Orge would play left, right, third, or first. And when he got to the World Series, he did some DHing.
I'm going to say he's 70.
Minus
20. Oh, boy.
1982 World Series, Josh. By the way, he was in one other postseason, 3 rounds. His career postseason batting average, .522.
What?
That's
That is
pretty
crazy.
good.
How long was he in St. Louis?
It's probably
4 years, 5 years, always as a bench guy.
only good in the playoffs. He's 69 years old.
76.
Oh.
Whoa.
76. He was really a good player.
I
but they never
assumed he was 25, and you're saying he's how old?
76.
So he would have been about
like
36.
31.
Yeah, he never really hit against left-handed pitching.
33 years old.
That's pretty cool. That is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS. You know, there's so many great books about baseball. I mean, you can check them all out at St. Louis County Library. But books, magazines, you can DVDs. What you might not realize is the St. Louis County Library also has the Library of Things. So maybe you want to get out and do a little bird watching, but you don't have binoculars. You can go to St. Louis County Library and check out a pair. They've got GoPro cameras. They've got musical instruments. I mean, it's this collection of non-traditional library items. Even fishing poles and pickleball equipment. You name it, you'll find it, and you don't have to go spend a lot of money not knowing whether or not you're going to like it. You can actually go to St. Louis County Library, check out what you're looking for, use it for a couple of weeks, return it, and if you love it, buy your own. I mean, St. Louis County Library has something for everyone of all ages. You've got the Emerson History Genealogy Center. You've got the Teen Creative Lab there at the Clark Family Branch. And don't forget, there are always fantastic artists coming to town, and you can be there for a discussion. So you can learn and see the entire event lineup at slcl.org or find the location, the branch nearest you. Again, slcl.org.
Maybe I was too busy doing math, Bob, but did you mention he's a two-time World Series champion?
I mentioned he was in two World Series.
Yeah, he won with the Cardinals, and then he won against the Cardinals.
In 85.
With the Royals.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's got to be an interesting dichotomy. Hey, guys, how's it going? We're going to steal this one from you, though.
All right, it is about 10 minutes before 6. Let's get one final check of traffic with Captain Paul.
Heidi, an accident on 44 East before Washington has been moved to the shoulder with traffic slow back to 5564. 270 East is congested from Riverview to Illinois Route 3. 64 West busy from Kings Highway to McCausland and between 364 and 70. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Hanley. 270 South is crowded around 64. And 170 South is heavy between Forest Park Parkway and 64. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has two locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, two great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these three I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, two locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis to help improve my home when it matters most. It's not just Pella's high-quality windows and doors. It's the local experts who know the St. Louis area so well. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects or 0% no payments, no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio to learn more. 833-87-PELLA or Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hey, it's Josh, and I want to tell you about a dentist office, My Dentist Office, and their new location now open in Lake St. Louis Dentistry. Dr. Landgraf and the group of dentists have been my dentists my entire life. They've been my parents' dentists for their entire lives, and you don't keep generation after generation of clients unless you're really good at what you do. Now with 3 locations, Florissant, Creve Coeur, and the new one, Lake St. Louis Dentistry, half-mile from 4064, and you can get an appointment today. Check out my dentist, LakeStLouisDentistry.com.
Do you have the option to control your cash flow and wealth? Are you getting a return on your greatest asset, your lifetime and potential generational income? Overcome these critical financial planning challenges by discovering the control option mindset featuring the lifetime and generational income maximizer. Call Mark Benson and his team at the Control Option at 314-432-9540 or online at thecontroloptionmindset.com.
Spring is finally here, and it's time to get out and enjoy the weather. Wherever you enjoy springtime, be sure to take the Big 550 with you on our mobile app. Listen live and be entertained and informed. Download the app today and don't miss a minute of the Big 550. KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550. KTRS.
Let's wrap this Monday up with a couple randoms.
The state that manufactures the most guns is New Hampshire, followed by Missouri, Florida, North Carolina, and Mississippi.
Who manufactures guns here?
I don't know. This article goes on to say it's based on total gun production volume, not where the most manufacturer licenses are. So it's not like we have a bunch of them.
I know that.
But we have one that's producing the whole lot.
I know in the 1800s, a couple of the main manufacturers were in New England. I didn't know New Hampshire.
Yeah, Springfield,
yep.
Yeah, and all that. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Where are they making guns in the state of Missouri? We want to know. Harvard University was founded before calculus was invented. Harvard was established in 1636. Calculus wasn't created until 1684. I like how they say it was created.
Interesting. Wish they would have uncreated it.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Did
what do you use
anybody-
it for?
I don't think I ever took it. I think I took something called, pre-calc. I couldn't tell you. Geometry is the shapes, right?
Yes.
Shapes.
Algebra is
Good
the
job.
letters, with the A squared and B squared.
And tomorrow we're going to talk colors, Josh.
I do have a guest that's coming on pretty soon about colors, but I don't know what calc is. Couldn't tell you.
I'm not making fun of you, just of the last little commentary. I'm a product of the public school systems pushing people through. I can't do any math. I can calculate an earn-run average in my head.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. It's not
But that's
useful.
as far as it. No,
it's not useful.
Up in the press box, it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
You need to pull it out real quickly. That's pretty good.
Trigonometry. Anybody care to guess
Stop.
what that is?
Stop.
No, thank you.
WWW is the only three-letter acronym, World Wide Web,
Yes.
that has 3 times more syllables than what it stands for. World Wide Web, that's 3.
Yeah.
W. That's 9 syllables.
Yeah, 9. Most of those things do have more syllables. That doesn't
You're
say many
supposed to,
times.
to use an acronym to shorten things. But in this case, you make it 3 times longer. And the U.S. mail was actually delivered twice a day, at least, until April of 1950.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Think of, though, how often we're looking at our phones or looking at an email or a text message, and that's the only way you communicated back then. So you had to get your letter and send the letter. And
remember afternoon newspapers?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, the Globe Democrat.
Was that was an afternooner?
When I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I think they finally both went to mornings, and then the Globe went kaput.
Yeah.
Our mail service in Fenton is terrific.
I love hearing
really
that.
Good. And often you get stuff delivered on Sundays even.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why they're making people work on Sundays.
Well, maybe it's a choice. Maybe they get to pick
double
their
overtime
weekend or
and-
overtime.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not making.
We've got a mail room.
Yeah.
I probably don't go in there to check, but for once a week, and then it's always pretty full.
I guess so.
Sometimes you get a little note in there that says you've been evicted. Come pick up your mail at the post office.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah, I do.
I was
yes.
going to say,
Not the
not
royal you.
everybody. Yeah. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this beautiful Monday afternoon. I hope you have a great night, and hopefully you'll meet us back here starting at 3 o'clock. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
It's alright. Don't need a salt to drop your flowers. Oh no. Whatever gets you through your life. It's alright. It's alright. Do it wrong or do it right. It's alright. It's alright. Don't need to watch you waste your time.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. The one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call STLMedWeightLoss.com and ask Dr. Joe. STLMedWeightLoss.com.
It's Sarah Haynes from The View. Today, stronger immunity and better nutrition are more important than ever. That's why Eggland's Best gives you and your family more. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, all helping you to maintain a strong immune system and better overall health. Plus, you get all that farm-fresh, delicious taste. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This has been the talk of St. Louis for 30 years, and we aren't stopping now. We are the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. 17 Americans and 1 British national are now quarantined here in the U.S. They arrived early this morning after being evacuated from the cruise ship plagued with a hantavirus outbreak. 16 passengers are in Omaha, Nebraska. 2 are at Emory Hospital in Atlanta, the same facility that treated patients infected with the Ebola virus in 2014. ABC's Steve Osinsami.
4 patients were flown to this facility, to the same biocontainment unit here. And all 4 of those patients were successfully treated. Dr. Brantley, I think his name was, he wrote a memoir about it. They all lived to tell their stories. So they are used to this sort of containment and quarantine that they might need for these infected individuals.
Yet again, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is targeting Senator Mark Kelly. Hegseth has accused the Arizona Democrat of revealing classified information from a briefing by sharing a video of it. The retired Navy captain is pushing back. ABC's Louis Martinez.
The Tomahawk missiles he talked about, ATACMS missiles, he talked about Patriot missiles, but he didn't provide any information specifically saying how far down into the stockpiles that we've gone as a result of all of these weapons that are being used inside of Iran. But what we do know is that in response, Kelly himself put out a video, a clip from a hearing just last week, where he asked Secretary Hegseth how long might it take to replace some of the weapon stockpiles, and you heard from Secretary Hegseth himself say that it was months and years.
A Los Angeles teen who was homeless at one point begins a new chapter after getting accepted to 65 colleges and choosing New York City's Columbia University. Lamont Newell was valedictorian at his high school and says he learned how to code at an LA summer camp.
You don't let the environment choose who you want to be in society. At the end of the day, you are your own person. You don't let anybody change who you are. You don't let any circumstance change how you want to be.
You're listening to ABC News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-979-3535. That's 800-979-3535. 800-979-3535.
Congressional lawmakers want to allocate $1 billion for President Trump's White House ballroom after the president claimed the ballroom serves national security needs. ABC's Rick Klein.
Our poll on this a couple weeks ago showed a clear majority of the country doesn't think this is a good idea, including 6 in 10 independents. Republicans generally do, but not nearly as strongly behind Trump as they are on almost every other policy issue. There's real skepticism out there, especially in this environment, the concerns around the Iran war, the concerns around the economy.
One of the world's biggest pop stars is targeting Samsung in a new lawsuit.
Dua Lipa says Samsung is selling TVs using her image without her permission. The photo in question was taken at a music festival in 2024 and is displayed on the boxes for certain Samsung televisions. Lawyers for the 3-time Grammy winner say they repeatedly asked Samsung to stop using the image, but the company was dismissive and callous. Now they're suing Samsung for infringing on Dua Lipa's copyright and trademark rights and are asking for $15 million. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Samsung says it is not commenting on ongoing litigation. The first wave of tariff refunds are expected to appear in business bank accounts as soon as tomorrow. The federal government launched a website last month for companies to file for refunds. More than 330,000 importers paid about $166 billion in Trump-imposed tariffs that the Supreme Court later ruled illegal. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Attention. Attention. Please make your way to the nearest radio.
It's time for the Press Box with Frank Cusimano on the Big 550 KTRS.
Powered by the Control Option.
Good evening and welcome to the Control Option Press Box on the Big 550 KTRS. Frank Cusimano with Andy Van Slyke, our favorite show of the week, the show that everybody talks about. What does Andy have to say on these Mondays? We're excited you're here, sir. How are you?
I'm having a good morning, actually. I feel good. So it's unusual. My shoulder is coming along and had a good rest last night. So
what would be progress? It was a total reconstruction shoulder, or was it a?
It was a total replacement, not reverse, total replacement. And being 65 years old now, it's taken a long time. It's really, really frustrating.
And do you think that one day you'll be able to do what? You'd be happy with what?
I would be happy to do the dishes, dry them, and be able to put up in my cupboard board above my head.
Nothing like more lofty, like maybe throwing batting practice to your grandkids?
I'll feed a machine, thank you very much.
How about just throwing a ball?
That would be nice. I don't think it's ever going to happen again.
Really? You really have that kind of attitude?
No, that's how bad, shoulder.
Well, what does a doctor say?
I don't care what the doctor says. I can only tell you what my body's telling me. That's the only voice that I'm listening to right now.
That you will never be able to throw a ball again. But it doesn't seem...
As of today, I would say no. You and I would have a very difficult time playing catch from 10 feet.
Well, I told you about Bruce Sutter at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I said, how hard would you throw? He says, I can't throw a ball 20 yards.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's like, here, Frank, the motion of a baseball player throwing a baseball overhead as hard as you can, it's not a motion that the human body was built for.
No. Yeah.
Now you can throw it underhand all day long.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why
softball pitchers, they can go back to back.
Yeah. I mean, and not only that, I know a grenade, is heavier than a baseball, but you make that motion with your shoulder. That's why they throw grenades straight arm. That's why they when they play cricket, they throw a straight arm. A cricket pitcher can throw for days.
And then it's weird how it affects people differently. Like, I haven't seen him in the last 3 or 4 years, but Andy Bennis was throwing like BP in his mid-40s without any pain.
Frank, I was in my mid-50s throwing batting practice for an hour straight. Just about as hard as I could.
Huh.
So it's just the best analogy I can give you about the human body as a professional athlete and using it for 40 years, and all of us, sitting in our cars, driving home, at the end of the day, our bodies are tired. And if you're in your 50s or 60s, you start feeling, well, this hurts, that, this. Okay. Your joints only have so many miles on it like a tire.
But people...
And I replaced the tire. The problem is the original tires on this chassis were a lot better than the replacement tires.
That's really well put. Yeah. And then you have a guy like Dave McKay who was throwing BP in like his mid-60s.
He's unbelievable.
Maybe the best BP pitcher of all time.
Well, I don't know if he's the best BP pitcher. He is the best major league coach of all time.
Yeah.
His longevity is absolutely incredible.
Had a real great outlook on life.
He is
just a positive guy.
Unbelievable. I mean, every day is sunflower day for him. I mean, it's just bright and yellow.
Who used to throw BP to you either as
Dave Ricketts.
Oh, as a Cardinal. Yeah.
As a Cardinal, Dave Ricketts.
The legendary catching coach, I should say. Not a great player.
Dave, I had trouble with right-handed sliders, and Dave Ricketts used to throw me right-handed sliders, and it really helped me out.
At his age?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And he would throw, literally for 2 hours. And he put a sweatsuit on, and he had a big Campbell's can of water. The big ones, the commercial ones that you use like in school.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how many ounces there were, 64 ounces or whatever. And he would fill that up with ice, and supposedly there was water in it. So one day he's throwing batting practice, and it's in spring training. I think it's in spring training. Whatever, I can't remember exactly. But he's throwing batting practice. He turns around, and he takes a sip of his huge can, a tin can. Now, back then it was tin. It wasn't aluminum like today.
Yeah.
Takes a sip, and he spits it out and goes, "Who put water in my water?"
Really?
He normally put vodka in it and drank vodka with tons of ice and threw batting practice for 2 hours.
What, did it lubricate him or what?
I guess. He wanted to do his job, and I guess he was. Here's the thing. Dave Ricketts, he could have been in the most pain as any human being on the planet. He would not let you know.
Huh.
That's just how tough he was.
And also like an off-the-charts guy.
Great.
Yeah, everybody just...
Tough.
Yeah.
Very, very tough. In a great way.
All right.
I mean, he would pretend he was always mad at you, or, he was like a mad scientist.
But he had a soft side.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What about, as we talk about batting practice and pitching, if you were in charge, are you a subscriber that kids should not throw curveballs at a very young age?
There's a lot of things kids shouldn't be doing when they're playing baseball.
Like? Well, how about the curveball situation? Kids should throw a curveball at what age?
No. I don't think kids should be pitching until they're in their mid-teens anyways. I mean, they can pitch, but my point being is you got to be really careful with kids when their arms are young. And if you start, letting them snap off curveballs at 10 and 12
they're going
years
to pay
old,
a price?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is the number one success rate of major league pitchers in the big leagues? What is the number one thing that makes them of being a very successful pitcher?
Velocity or?
No.
No. All right, what?
Command of fastball.
Okay.
End of story. You can't command your fastball. You might, some nights you might, but the guys that command their fastball are the ones who stick around and have long careers and are consistent.
Yeah. So do you think that, how about this example? Is the Cardinals have this young pitcher named Liam Doyle, who's the first pick in the draft, and he has struggled for the most part in Springfield. And then the other day, he had his first really good start. He went 5. He struck out 7 or 8, allowed 2 runs. It was a good start. And what the Cardinals are claiming with him is in college, he only threw 2 pitches. And now they're telling him you have to have command of 3 or 4. And we don't care what the results are in Springfield. We just want to make sure that eventually you get these pitches down. What about that idea?
I don't have a problem with adding a third pitch, a fourth pitch. No question. The question is, do you have a pitch when you need a strike? Do you have that pitch? And if he's got the first two, when you get to the big leagues, you better add a third. And it doesn't mean you have to have total command of it, Frank. It just means you have to show it. But here's my point. There are certain pitchers that had good fastballs when I played that didn't like throwing their fastball in situations when they really needed it because they really couldn't command it. They might throw it when they're behind. It might miss by a foot. But the guys that really command their fastballs, you know, the Earl Hershiser's, the Maddox, those type of pitchers who don't overthrow it. McGreevy reminds me of some of these guys because he can command his fastball.
Yeah, and now the other night, what made him great was that changeup. I mean,
the changeup absolutely makes. Here's the thing: if he doesn't command his fastball, the changeup doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
because I can sit on his changeup all day long.
Yeah.
So if he can snap a fastball in there for a strike, then the changeup becomes that much more highly effective.
Yeah.
So he did throw more changeups, and he also ran into a team that's really struggling offensively. So the combination of both is what you saw. You saw a pitcher on his game and a team that is really struggling offensively.
Are you starting to think, not just now, but down the road from McGreevy, that we're looking at a guy who, as I always bring up, he's going to be in between Maddox and Suppan, that actually could end up being an all-star? I mean, his ERA is now 2.18, and he's only 3-2, but
yeah,
nobody cares about the records.
I don't care about the record.
Yeah, but I mean, could this guy be an all-star?
Well, we've got 3 potential all-stars on the team. Yeah, he's definitely one of them in the running. All he has to do is pitch well in May and half of June. He's there.
Boy, and this is a guy we thought, he'll be a good 4th starter for us. And now we're thinking he could be a National League All-Star.
Season, I don't think he was a 4-star in the all-season.
Maybe
for this ball club.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For this ball club, he was, it was him and
Liberatore.
Yeah. And then you didn't know what you're going to get with May, and so May's coming on. He's starting to. That's another thing about fastballs. He's throwing his fastball in the strike zone now, so it speaks for itself. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's 97 or 90. You still have to command 97 and 90.
Boy, the command of McGreevy, though. Gosh, wherever the catcher puts the ball, it's where it ends up. I mean, puts his glove. It just ends up there.
And he doesn't miss in the middle strike zone very often.
Yeah, and that may be the difference between he and May.
He can't.
Yeah.
He can't. That's the thing. May can get away with missing in the strike zone. Yesterday, he missed quite a bit in the strike zone. But he ran into a team that's really struggling offensively. Machado stinks. I mean, they all
yeah.
Tatis stinks right now. So they're struggling offensively. And McGreevy, he can't, even with a big league team struggling like they are, he still didn't miss in the middle of the strike zone. May did, but when a team struggles, you take advantage of that. You throw it right down the middle.
Yeah. How about Kyle Leahy now with another good outing, 5 scoreless? He walked some people, but still.
I'm still concerned. He's a 5th starter. And put it this way, if the playoffs started tomorrow, he'd be in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So, but he
strikes out people, unlike some of the others on the staff in general.
Which is interesting because he's a 94 guy, tops.
Yeah.
Again, what's he do? He throws that 4-seamer.
Yeah. They see, like, he seems so understated.
A lot of base runners.
Understated and energyless, like passionless on the mound. He's just, like, so calm.
Calm is a good word.
Yeah.
Boring. Emotionless, which he's not. I mean, you can't get on a big league mound and not have emotions.
Yeah.
And not have adrenaline. It's not going to happen. But I'm not so sure I want to play poker for a couple hours after the game with this guy. He's got a great poker face. You'd never know if he just woke up in the morning if he's going to bed, the way he pitches.
Let's talk about Matthew Liberatore, and he had his best start of the season and one of the better starts of his career. When he's right, what is Liberatore doing well?
When he's right, he's facing a team that's struggling, to be honest with you.
Well, he's got to be doing something right.
Well, I mean, he's throwing the ball in the strike zone, and he's mixing his pitches up, and he's got big league stuff. So, having said that, it was a nice game for him. I'm going to wait until, the next game, the next couple games.
In a row?
Yeah, because, again, I can only speak on my own personal experience at the big league level. When you run into a team that you know is struggling offensively and they got great pitching, it makes for a really compelling because as a offensive team, which the Cardinals, I think, have pretty good offense, it's a challenge to go out and face good pitching. And then your pitching staff coming into San Diego knows, hey, this guy's struggling, this guy's struggling, this guy's struggling. The way I go about my pitching might be a little bit different.
Speaking of struggling, Riley O'Brien in the month of May has an ERA of 9.82. Now, overall, it's a 2.84 ERA and a .95 WHIP. Is it just a case, hey, he's a really good pitcher, he threw a bad pitch?
He threw a bad pitch. And it wasn't – the selection to me was the issue. I mean, I see Castellanos up there just absolutely –
only one thing on his mind.
Well, he's got one thing on his mind. He's looking for one pitch. It's not a slider. And there was a couple of pitches. He broke his bat on a foul ball. He gets a bat that it doesn't even belong to him. He takes two sliders that are a foot outside, and I thought there's no way he's going to be throwing a fastball in the situation.
Yeah.
And he did. But I'm not on the mound. He obviously was convicted. He thought he could get in there. But, again, a big league hitter beat a big league pitcher in a very poor situation for the Cardinals.
So it's 2 out of his last 4 outings have been bad. 3 out of his last 6 outings have been bad. But you're not concerned because you just love
Well, of course I'd be concerned. I mean, gosh darn, I'd be concerned, absolutely. I mean, you get a 2-0 lead against this team, Padres.
Yeah.
You do have to hold it down. It was a learning experience, I'm sure, for him. I mean, did you see the 9th inning?
Yes, I watched.
Did you think when Castellanos, was facing him and those swings that he was taking on those sliders, did you think he had a chance?
No.
None. So I'm just sitting there, throw him another one. You walk him, so what? Throw him another one. Nope. He tried to, and that's why pitchers and hitters are both done at the same time.
On the positive side, the guys setting him up for the most part, Soriano, what are you seeing there?
Gas.
Yeah, he really attacks hitters too.
Gas. Here it is. I like it. Here's the thing. There's personalities that come out of a bullpen, Frank. They are. I mean, there's certain guys that are just, hey, I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to trick you. Here it is. And other guys who come in, they try to, like Romero is a trick guy. So.
Yeah.
And you need that. I mean, you need that. You need that fireballer to come in there and do that.
Well, 2 of the greatest pitchers of all time, closers, only threw 1 pitch, right? I mean, Rivera. And then did Gossage throw another pitch?
Basically fastballs.
Yeah.
Occasional slider.
Yeah. Did you get to face him much?
I did. I actually did.
And how'd you do?
I remember hitting a home run off him, thought it was really cool.
Oh, I bet. Oh, my God.
Really, really cool.
And then
that's when he was in San Diego.
That's when he was at his most frightening, or the
Yankees.
Yeah.
Yankees.
And the big leg whip and the Fu Manchu.
Yeah. Have you ever heard him being interviewed?
Like
Goose?
He's a little off?
Goose?
Yes.
He's great.
Yeah.
You don't fool around. Let's just say, of all the living Major League Baseball players, he may be the most politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Him.
Well, Kurt Schilling.
John Rocker.
Yeah.
I mean, John Rocker might be the worst.
But Rocker's probably flat out nuts.
He's just crazy.
Yeah.
Did I tell you I rode in a car with him for about an hour?
How?
We were at a signing, and we were in New Jersey, and we had to get to the airport, so we rode together.
Wow.
He lives in the panhandle of Florida.
Okay.
And that's a perfect place for him. There's a lot of rednecks in the panhandle.
Who was crazier? Or who would you not want to face more, Gossage or Rob Dibble?
Oh, I'd rather face Gossage.
You'd rather face Gossage than Dibble?
Yeah.
Because Dibble would be...
Dibble's just crazy.
Yeah.
Gossage?
Yeah.
he's crazy, but he's also sane. Devil's insane and crazy.
Isn't that unbelievable? Because the Reds had Charlton, and Myers.
Yeah.
Randy Myers was not a day at the park either.
Frank, I think one of the most underrated teams in the last 30 years is the 1990 Reds.
That won it.
That won the whole thing.
Yeah.
When they went into Oakland, swept the Oakland A's. They had a great center fielder.
Eric Davis, yeah.
They had good third baseman. They had Barry Larkin. They had the best, maybe the best three closers in all of baseball on one team. Yeah. Think about having Charlton, Myers, lefty, both, with the ability to have 40 saves, and then double with the ability. He had three guys in the bullpen with the ability of having 40 saves apiece.
Yeah.
That bullpen was unstoppable. The best bullpen I've ever seen.
And Nick Saski and Lou Piniella was the manager.
Lou Piniella was the manager.
Your paths ever crossed with Lou?
Love Lou. Love him.
He was a little out there, too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, his wires are a little, are a little crossed, but I love Lou Piniella. He's great.
All right, let's take a short time out. Andy Van Slyke with us. When we come back, we'll get into that Cardinal offense, and Jordan Walker did it again yesterday.
Now, a message from KTRS President and General Manager Mark Dorsey.
If you look to the east of the Gateway Arch from St. Louis, you'll see a blinking light in the sky that translates a signal of KTRS, the Big 550, to radio listeners across America and beyond. From the cornfields of Belleville to Westport Plaza and across the region, KTRS has been a friend and companion to many for 30 years. As families gather around radios to share experiences, listening to the latest news, talk shows, and sports, we could be in the background or foreground, but we've got to know each other, and you became much a part of our lives as we do yours. KTRS has been with you during the good times and bad. You invited us into your homes, your cars, your trucks, your businesses, and on and on. This month, KTRS is celebrating a milestone of broadcasting to millions of listeners for 30 years. As we celebrate our 30th year, I want to thank you, our loyal listeners, our wonderful advertisers, and the many friends and partners who continue to support our mission. Live local radio and being locally owned and operated has been our mantra for 30 years. Of being the talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not